riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. Here's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show where we pick an album or a song, listen to it for an entire week straight, and come back here and tell you, our listeners, if we hate it and why. And oh, what an episode we have for you today, because it is the season for celebration. Before we get to that, though, I must introduce myself. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey, and with me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Niels Bohr to my J.R. Oppenheimer, Timothy Richardson. Bohr, how you doing, buddy?
Ooh, Garrett, I am excited, I am eager, I'm a little bit spooked, dare I say, I am a bit aroused. I have been champing at both the proverbial and also that very literal bit that you got me at our visit to that horse farm last month. This is the culmination of the spooky season. Spooktober through Spookcember is here. It is ICPissmas, and I could not be happier. I'm also, of course, excited as this ushers in the next spooky season, Januscary and Febuspook. And also, Garrett, the all-over black and white makeup has given me quite the all-over rash.
It sure has,
so
friend.
If you have found the feed, you're going to see me scratching a whole bunch. But other than that, the makeup does cover up the rash. But trust me, it's all rash under there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if we had better cameras, if we had that 4K feed, people might see the raised skin throughout your body. But
Sure. But that's a Patreon goal. So,
yeah. So 1080p for you suckers, which honestly in this case is a sweet, sweet gift. Tim, your skin is repulsive.
Yes, it is.
Like a chilled, defeathered turkey.
Yes. But it is, I'm assuming, under there much, much redder.
Yeah, oh yeah. So red. Ugh. Anyway, when not violently scratching at your permanently stained body, Tim, what album have we been listening to for almost 2 weeks straight?
Well, given that these lazy, false clown bitches didn't release another album this year, we had to take it back to the beginning and find out just how it all started. We have been listening to Insane Clown Posse's first and possibly finest album, Carnival of Carnage, from way back there in 1992 when Garrett Harvey was still working in a steel mill.
At the age of 9.
Well,
my parents believe in earning your keep, and then some. You learn a lot at the steel mill, Timmy.
It's mostly steel-related things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's not a lot of time.
Like life lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really want to focus on your task. It is dangerous for a man or child.
Yeah. I mean, most of what you learn boils down to watch out for the steel.
Right.
Anyway, life lessons aside, Tim, I am so curious and really not going to be surprised at all here, I don't think. Tim, after an entire almost 2 weeks with ICP and their Carnival of Carnage, do you hate this album?
God help me, Garrett. I don't, with a huge but. Here's the thing. I hate 99% of this, 99.99% of this dumb bullshit with a passion. I hate it and would destroy it with fire. It's terrible. There are 2 lines on this album that I unironically love. There is a chorus, I think, that completely saves this entire experience from the jaws of hatred. We will get to it, of course. But it's clearly something a producer came up with. Neither one of these 2 idiots had anything to do with this specific bit.
I hate that I immediately know what you're saying.
It's
like exactly what you're talking about, and I agree.
It redeems nothing else on the album at all. Nothing else is better. In fact, some of it looks worse in comparison, but it does prevent me from completely hating it. What about you, friend? Do you hate this?
I do.
All right.
Quite a bit, Tim. Tim, I hate this. I really disliked listening to it. Having more time to prepare made it worse.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I agree with you completely. This is trash.
I was hoping that with time comes mastery, an ability to absorb this clown nonsense and not be as affected. Like, every Christmas is ruined by these idiots. And this one was no different, if not worse.
I would argue that every Christmas is made by these idiots.
Now, what you just said is 100% true, because if you're new to the show, and boy, what a weird one to start with, 'Tis the season, Tim. We are firmly and unironically celebrating ICPissmas. Merry Pissmas to you.
Merry Pissmas to you as well, friends. I hope that the Pissmas season covers you from head to toe in its warm, sticky, unidentifiable fluid this year.
It's Faygo.
In fact, I guarantee it will.
It's root beer Faygo.
There is root beer Faygo in that mixture, yes.
And a strain of syphilis never before seen by man. It lives exclusively on the back of sloths. Okay.
Not exclusively, Garrett.
Well, not anymore. It's crossed over. It's within the Juggalo community. Anyway, Tim doesn't hate it. I certainly do. I'm right. He's wrong. He'll get there shortly. I promise. Before we can talk about this, I mean, it seems ridiculous to ask, but again, there's always somebody out there that this is their first episode, so we must ask it. Prior to this week, Tim, what's your history with ICP?
Well, we are obviously extremely familiar, overly familiar at this point, with these false clowns. This is, I think, our 7th recorded ICPissmas. It is, of course, our 16th ICPissmas. This is my first dalliance with this particular album. I have never heard anything on that. This is all new to me. That being said, there are a lot of samples in this album. There's a lot of stuff on here that sounds familiar, but no, there's no reason to have ever heard this before. What about you? Did you ever go back to where it all began before this week? Is this your first Carnival of Carnage ride?
Oh, heavens no. I've never heard it. This was my first experience with it. Now, I will say, you are right. There are more recognizable samples in this album than I think any of their others. There's moments of it I was able to enjoy because of that. Aside from the torturous repetition that is this show, I have almost no history with this band. And I hate adding to it every year.
Fair enough.
Merry Pissmas. But I love celebrating. I love these episodes. I look forward to this every year, and quite possibly this could be a double ep. It's 15 very long tracks.
Yeah, but we gotta move through some of these. We should institute a rule of 2 verses and a chorus.
Oh yeah, I really took some selections from those verses. Anywhoozleby, that's your history, that's my history. That is to say, it's the same goddamn history we've had for the last 6 or 7 years, and before that, our private ICPissmas celebrations the last 20. Before we can talk about this album, Tim, what do we want to do for general history here? Refer to previous episodes?
No, Garrett. We go through the history of these false clowns every year. A few years ago, when we did the Great Malenko, I believe it was 2020, I went back and I watched a few documentaries. And this year, I have gone back and rewatched those 3 historical documentaries. Well, 2 historical documentaries and 1 apparently future documentary. So I was going to re-give you the history in these 3 vignettes from these 3 documentaries. Kind of like the song The Highwaymen or Widespread Panic's Don't Tell the Band. Kind of a ghost of ICPissmas past, present, and future, if you will.
I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty confused by almost everything you're saying right now.
Excellent. Well, because Garrett does not just shred it and burn it with the notes at the end of every episode. He also does a similar thing with his memory, so he's going to have no idea what all of this is about. For those of you that have recently listened to our 2020 episode, I apologize, because this will hew semi-close to that. Although, again, I did completely rewrite this from scratch, because we do shred it and burn it. Garrett, our first story begins, as all good stories do, on the range in the 1800s. 1880s,
what
I believe.
in the world? Okay, so just to be clear, we're doing the ICP history, we're starting on a range in the 1800s, and you've done this bit before.
It is cowboy country, Garrett. There are cattle,
God.
There are cactuses, there are guys with cool hats, cool boots, and tight jeans. That's right, this is the best time period in history, the Old West. Now, Sheriff Sugarwolf, who will eventually go on to grow into Shaggy 2 Dope, aka Joe Utz, returned to his hometown to find that, in classic Old West fashion, it had been overtaken by the scoundrel.
This is such a ridiculous waste of time. I apologize. Proceed.
His old hometown, Mudbug, has been overtaken by the scoundrel Big Baby Chips, aka Violent J, aka Vijay, aka VJ, aka Joe Brew. And just so we're all picturing the same thing, there's one skinny good cowboy and there's one obese cowboy, and both cowboys are wearing ICPissmas makeup as if to mock the cowboy tradition.
They're not on the same team.
Oh, no, Garrett. No, one of them is going to be the sheriff and the other is is the antagonist here. Anywho, Big Baby Chips is a gambling tycoon, as the name implies, and he has killed Sheriff Sugar Wolf's father, Grizzly Wolf, aka the sex criminal, Ron Jeremy, and has taken control of the town. Sugar Wolf, who was the sheriff of a different town, maybe? I don't know. Has come back home, and he has become the sheriff of this town. So, as you would, Big Baby Chips sends some assassins to kill him, but the good sheriff had, of course, no problem defeating these henchmen. One of his henchmen is named Big Stank, and the other is named Lil Poot. That's something.
Big Baby Chips.
Big Stank, Lil Poot.
BBC.
That's right. Because of his heroism, the townspeople gathered behind Sheriff Sugar Wolf, and he was given a deputy with the historically revered cowboy named Bucky. That guy looked a lot like Jason Mewes from the old cowboy photos I saw. And he was given a lady, who is also a dwarf, named Tink, which is also according to cowboy custom. Tink, it turns out, was actually a deadly bearded male assassin in disguise. You know, as one would expect. It was secretly working for Big Baby Chips the whole time, and he was able to cripple the sheriff's shooting hand before the good sheriff was able to kill his lady bearded male assassin with dynamite.
Right.
Also according to cowboy custom. Garrett, with the crippled hand, the sheriff had to relearn how to fight, and he was trained by Dirty Sanchez, who had previously been crippled also by Big Baby Chips, and then once he was ready, he had trained Luke Skywalker style, he gunned down Big Baby Chips. But to his surprise, Garrett, when the makeup was removed, it was actually his father the whole time. It was not Joe Brew or Violent J or whatever. It was his father, Grizzly Wolf, aka the sex criminal Ron Jeremy. It's a twist.
Okay, I guess so.
What I think happened, and the history is not clear on this, I believe that at the last minute, right before the gunfight, Violent J switched himself out with the sheriff's father, and then escaped into the time
kill his own dad.
Right. And then he escapes into the time stream.
Ooh, time stream.
1970s, New York City, the Big Apple.
Hold on. There's 3 of these.
There is, yes. We've gone through one.
This is enraging. This is crazy.
In 1970s Big Apple, Garrett, the immortal Sheriff Sugar Wolf has moved to New York City and is now living as Sugar Bear. Before this, obviously he's from the Old West. He was a detective from San Francisco who was brought in to help deal with crime lord Big Baby Sweets, aka, of course, Violent J, and his personal security ninjas, as well as his henchmen Big Stank and Lil Poop.
Wait, so they really are all the same people?
Yes. It's a continuing story through different time periods. Of course, the third one is going to take a hard left turn, but we'll get there when we get there.
What could be a harder left turn? We've already taken so many left turns. So was there actual time travel, or is it just more like Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Scared Stupid?
It's sort of like the second thing. People. I'm kind of stitching this together a little bit to kind of... Right. I guess
you're telling us the story that's not on the screen.
The time travel is implied.
I see. I'm sure it is. All right, continue. New York, 1970.
New York City, Sugar Bear found out just how incompetent the police were from Officer Harlan Williams, but he was able to stop Ape Boy from robbing a donut shop, and then he began a romance with a 300-pound stripper named Missy. He was able to arrest Big Baby Sweets, Big Stank, and Lil Poot, but they didn't really have any evidence. I don't know why exactly he arrested them, so they were all able to go free, and they subsequently retaliated by terrorizing the city and having their magic ninja gang murder the obese stripper, and Sugar Bear, in his despair, became an alcoholic after the loss of his lady love.
I hate the amount of detail you're going into.
Then Garrett, Sugar's idol, Dolomite, trained him again. Again, we've got a new Luke Skywalker situation here. He trained him to kill the magic ninjas and some other henchmen. And then also, there's no reason really to kill Big Stank and Lil Poot, so he just got them in trouble with their wealthy parents and they had to go home. When Sugar Bear confronted Big Baby Sweets, Big Baby was now shot and killed by his own mother in a twist that no one saw coming. But then, Garrett, in a second twist, double twist, when the makeup was removed, Officer Harlan Williams the whole time, and Big Baby escaped once again into the time stream.
So, hold on. Obviously, the escape into the time stream is implied.
Right.
So when you're watching these quote-unquote documentaries, how do they end?
Just like that.
Well, minus the time stream thing, it's just like, oh, we accidentally killed the good guy. Movie over?
Yeah, basically. So I shot my own father, the sex criminal Ron Jeremy, yes.
movie. Like, so who's the hero?
No, there are no heroes, Garrett. This is real life. This is a documentary.
I hate this bit.
In the year 2030, future times, a civil war will break out across the United States, forcing the president to declare martial law and build a prison camp known as the Red Zone, holding 1 million insane and violent felons within it, making the rest of the U.S. mostly pretty safe.
Just to be clear, is this in the movie or is this a Tim prediction?
Oh no, this is a future documentary now.
I see. That's closer to reality than I would like it to be.
Oh, it's going to get way closer. Garrett, the Reaper, a future criminal, is planning on spilling sarin into the water supply.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? But he is filmed, or will be filmed, by a prisoner before he can accomplish his goal. Now, Governor Reagan Black decides to solve this problem by holding a death race in the prison camp to be televised live and give points to anyone for killing loose prisoners, and also freedom for anyone that brings the Reaper in, dead or alive, but obviously dead.
Right.
There are 4 teams of racers, Garrett. The Severed Head Gang, they're driving a 1995 town car. Homeland Security, which is made up of 2 disgraced members of the Army in a 1943 Willys MB Jeep thing. There is, of course, Vaginamite, 2 serial killers who seduced and murdered more than 72 male and female victims in a Lotus. Oh, they're driving a Lotus. They didn't do all that stuff in a Lotus. And then the Insane Clown Posse, Garrett, whose violent music was attributed as directly influencing multiple murders, multiple acts of terrorism, at least 1 school shooting, which resulted in these false clowns being convicted for those murders and dubbed as the quote-unquote Charles Manson of their time. Their music has been banned, but as obviously would be the case, it continues to retain a strong fan base, which means that it is probably better received in the future than it is today. These 2 guys are given an ice cream truck with some bling, a meat grinder, and machine guns for their part of the race. And obviously, Governor Black has put chips in each of the racers' neck to kill them if they try to escape or break any of the rules.
So they're just stealing from Death Race and like...
This is a documentary.
Right. Escape from New York. There's the chip in the head there, and oh no, he's dying of poison. Maybe it's Escape from L.A. They're stealing from here.
There are a bunch of ambushes and double crosses along the way, as well as a fortunately timed flat tire. But the ICP gang eventually will arrive at the Reaper's lair, preventing the release of sarin into the water supply. But of course, the Homeland Security team, Colonel Bob and Captain Rudy, fire a rocket at them to get that Reaper's head so they can get that money. Violent is injured, so Shaggy pursues the Homeland Security team on his own, and the real Reaper, whose head is intact, emerges and attempts to release the sarin one last time, being stopped by Violent, but then Governor Black activates explosives in both clowns, blowing our heroes up, which also has the unintended consequence of blowing up the sarin, which in this universe is an explosive and not poison, causing a chain reaction, destroying the country, and that is how America ends.
LaFace? Yikes, Tim. That was
some vignettes of these clowns and their life. But again, false clowns, not real clowns. These are just guys in makeup.
Right. Not genetic clowns by any means. What I don't like about what you just took us through is that at some point we're going to watch these films for the show.
Sure, but you'll have forgotten about it by then.
God, it really seems that way, doesn't it?
I mean, I'll have watched them a 3rd time.
Yeah, where does one even find such movies?
I've got them on DVD.
Oh, God. DVD?
They're not streaming anywhere, you fool.
I assumed YouTube or like...
Oh, shit, I should have checked YouTube.
The dark web.
Oh, they're definitely on the dark web. But I can't get to the dark web because only you go to the dark web. What are you doing on the dark web?
Great history, Tim. That is to say, maddening and lengthy. That brings us to general thoughts. And before we talk about the album itself, I thought I would help set the mood for the year in which this came out, 1992. Try to understand the vibe that their contemporaries, who they're competing against in the marketplace. So I grabbed the top 10 albums of 1992. I'll buzz through them quickly. Feel free to stop me anywhere. Number 10, ZZ Top's Greatest Hits.
Weird, but I kind of get it.
Number 9, Mariah Carey's MTV Unplugged.
Oh, yeah. She did Where Did You Sleep Last Night at the end as well. It was
right. Yeah.
weird.
It's a good cover. Next is Stone Temple Pilots' Core, selling 8.3 million albums.
That makes sense, yeah.
Then, friend of the show, Billy Ray Cyrus with Some Gave All.
Oh, we did that album. That's a good album.
Not true. 10.5 million albums sold. Billy Ray Cyrus overall ranking of all time, 245. Let's see. Next up is fierce competitor Garth Brooks with The Chase, selling just slightly more. Then this one's wild. Kenny G's Breathless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a weird period where we were all super into Kenny G.
And by we, you mean
America.
our grandparents. Oh, 13.2 million sales.
Right. There's not enough grandparents in the goddamn world, Garrett.
Fair enough. Beating out Kenny G with 18 million in sales. Number 4, REM's Automatic for the People.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's a good album. Beating out REM, Eric Clapton Unplugged.
Yeah, also makes sense, but meh. He had that real, late 80s career resurgence.
I owned that album.
Yeah, I did too.
ABBA's Greatest Hits comes in at number 2. This album is also ranked number 20 overall. And number 1, Tim, this will blow your mind. Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard soundtrack. Sales 45 million.
Really?
Yeah. Overall rank of all time, number 4.
Huh. Bruce Willis was great in that movie.
I'll kill you.
Interesting response.
No, we don't have time for that. Okay.
we
so
have time if you want to make time.
I mean, you definitely have set the tone for the episode. If either of us would like to waste a considerable amount of time, that door's wide open.
That's true. I'm surprised there's no Nirvana in.
90, yeah, I was a little surprised by that
and
as well.
Pearl Jam, too.
I agree.
Maybe more surprised there's no Pearl Jam, because 10 sold a shit ton of copies.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, that sets the tone. That is to say, as a country, we were not taken over by grunge yet. You've got REM is in there, so all that early 90s alternative stuff, but by and large, popular music is still this mishmash of hip-hop, The Bodyguard, and some country music.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you got Stone Temple Pilots are in there.
It's weird, though, because this band is its own thing, right? So all of that almost seems irrelevant in the sense that nobody that's listening to that is going to listen to this, and nobody that's listening to this is going to listen to any of those 10 albums.
That's actually very, very accurate.
Yeah.
But it's funny to exist in that paradigm and be we should also make music. What do you think we should sound like? Garbage.
Well, Detroit was having this whole
horrorcore.
Yeah, it was weird. The horrorcore thing, gangster rap, the Satan rap. There's a whole mishmash of weird nonsense that was happening in Detroit right around this time. But the interesting thing with this album is this is the one that starts it all. But
sure,
it really shows. Every one of their subsequent albums, or at least all the ones we've listened to for this show, is this album. It's this exact album, slightly better production, but it's the exact same formula, right? There's an intro track. The second track is the song that explains the theme, although most of them do it better than this one. There's songs about how they're just running around murdering people. There's songs about how they don't like racists. There's songs about how they don't like gay people, which makes the songs about how they hate bigots kind of seem weird.
I really tried to parse that part, because what I think it is it's incidental homophobia in support of the gay community.
In support of, okay. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Incidental.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, and then there's the skits, but basically every single one of their albums, or at least the next 12 approximate albums, follows this exact same formula. And the themes, the character, they're such minor variations on this that, I mean, it's almost as if every one of their albums, they're just well, everything we've done before is shit. I like the idea, but let's just redo, let's make what we should have done for that album. And then just every 2 years, they just do that exact same thing, make this exact same album. They're just trying to make
that. That's the whole reason it's just all the Joker cards. Every time they're just trying to make the same thing again.
Right, but maybe this one will be good. This one's going to hit. The beats are super rudimentary. It really sounds rooted in the late 80s.
I love that.
Excessive amount of record scratches.
But it was in the era of
oh yeah, no, it actually makes sense.
It's much more fun.
Yeah. It's weirdly though. It's also the Violent Jade show, the Joe Brew show. Shaggy is not featured very much in this album.
It's interesting,
and when he does, Does he always sound like he's doing a Chris Rock impression? Because he does.
Yes.
Every time he says anything on this album, it's bizarre.
Yeah, he loves screaming.
Yeah, but he has, it sounds like he's doing the voice too. The humor is very appropriate for the time period too, right? This is like prime, like Andrew Dice Clay time, when this didn't seem quite as hacky as it does in retrospect. Now it just feels desperate. And apparently a bunch of the remastered versions don't include Night of the Axe or Blacken Your Eyes. Which
I was going to save that little tidbit. Here's a song that's not on most copies because it's that offensive.
It's just about beating women, yeah.
A celebration of spousal abuse.
Right. The alleged theme of this album, right? Carnival of Carnage. This is like the main theme, I guess, for their whole Joker card thing, right? The Dark Carnival. It's the afterlife where souls are sent to in like limbo. I'll just read the direct quote here. This Joker card is a representation of the ghettos and the violence that occurs within them. It takes the form of a traveling carnival, which releases the same brutality on those who have ignored the inner city's cries for help. The card issues a warning against the upper class and government's negligence toward the lower classes. So, Garrett, we haven't gotten the full manifesto yet. Was Mr. Luigi Mangione down with the clown?
No, I don't think it's very nice for you to lump him in with them.
Well, that's fair. I'm just saying, they sound like similar grievances.
Yes, however, these two assholes, much like every other album, managed to let you down immediately by completely and utterly abandoning that theme, and only vaguely hinting at it towards the end, to the point where when we get there, all of you will collectively go, oh yeah, Dark Carnival.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some just bare bones facts about this album. 15 tracks. Entirely too long.
Absolutely.
Tim has been trying to convince me all week that this is no different than any other album, but man, it feels longer than most. And the only thing I can point to, and maybe I'm wrong, happy to be wrong, I think that maybe some of the other albums, the skits, were their own track?
Maybe, but I counted, Garrett. 23 total spoken word interludes or skits throughout this album.
Oh my God.
A couple of those in that number are like continuations where it's just like broken up throughout a song. But
sure.
It's still ridiculous, right? This thing comes to a grinding halt 23 times for them to be quote-unquote funny.
Some of them make no sense.
Oh, a lot of them make no sense. And the weird thing is, the ones that make the most sense generally are the ones that are bleeding into the next song, for whatever reason that is.
Yeah, they're supposed to be intros to the next song, which...
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. You hinted at it, let's state it outright. This is firmly rooted in the late 80s, early 90s, so those beats are, hilariously simple.
The production on this, again, it's very simple, but it's in places it's kind of fun. Like, you get the almost Beck-like beats where it sounds like they were produced for a video game.
Some good bleeps and blorps.
Yeah.
He fucking samples Prince at one point, but we'll get there. So we've talked about what it sounds like. It's insanely long. The writing, not good. There was no sophomore slump. In fact, I might even argue they kind of got better and better. Although this had at least a couple of moments that legitimately made me either smile or go like, this is pretty well put together. What they were saying is just boring. But yeah. There are moments of enjoyment for me here, and I'm sure we'll talk about them at some point. So maybe this was their best effort.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it seems like all of their other albums are just this album with progressively slightly better production, or at least more updated production. So who knows?
We must move on. Shall we get started?
Absolutely.
Track number 1, the cleverly titled Intro.
Games, there were savage jesters and wicked ringmasters.
So this is the classic intro sketch that every one of their albums has. This will not get super old over the next 30 fucking years. This one has some lack of production value, though. It's hiss and wind chimes. I think they're supposed to set the mood. Followed by like a leprechaun or possibly some sort of South Park character in the background.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, all of us, like, as we get this introduction, we hear an approaching clatter and giggles of wind chimes. I think maybe there might have been a harp towards the end.
Yeah. Speaking of wind chimes, though, I assume these still drive you crazy? I
yeah.
don't remember if you recall our Jars of Clay conversation where we went into wind chime dampeners.
I don't, but I will say on the record right here and now, why? I don't understand why they exist. I've never heard a wind chime in my entire life and been like, oh, that's lovely. It's a clatter.
Yeah, this is the same conversation. Yeah, just
okay.
go back and listen to the Jars of Clay. You need wind chime dampeners to really just be less
pool
irritating.
noodles in the middle.
Sort of. Felt.
Okay. All right, I wrote down some of this slop, so let's get into it. It was a soft, gentle night in the town of, well, your town. The gentle breeze swept the streets, creating that pleasant howl that these kind town folks have enjoyed for so many, many years. The wind chimes sent their peaceful melodies into the ears of the sleeping residents. What? But the unusual was approaching in the distance. Something evil headed towards this small town, etc., etc. But there you get it. There's a carnival a-comin', and he goes on like that for quite a while before he finally announces what's coming. He says, "The people of this town will unwillingly witness the show of their lives, only rumored to exist. They will be the next to die helplessly at the Carnival of Carnage."
Cool.
And this might actually be the most ignored this concept is on all of their albums.
Yeah, well, because the next song, and we'll get into it in just a second, isn't even going to, like, pick up this thread, really.
No, in fact, it just kind of, like, confuses you further. I noticed there's no demon associated with this carnival. Normally there's, like, a bric-a-brac or a yum-yum bedlam.
This one, I think this was just a setting. This is setting the stage for all the future. Like, I assume that all of those demons or whatever populate this Carnival of Carnage.
Side note, not a great demon name, bric-a-brac.
I disagree.
I am bric-a-brac.
Right. So, like, most of them, they're a demon of something specific. He's just little odds and ends, He takes care of...
Demon of odds and ends.
Yeah, it takes care of whatever everyone else kind of slip through the cracks.
Pretty much everything they sell at a Tuesday morning. You don't need it, but it's accent pieces. They make the room feel homey.
Exactly.
I'm not scared of you.
You will be.
You will be. Okay, anyway. Did we say track number 2?
No, track number 2, Carnival of Carnage.
Starts as a nice little early 90s break beat, and I'm like, holy shit, I might enjoy this week. Quickly disabused of that thought with what follows for the next 2.5 minutes. And this is the second shortest song on the entire album. We're about to get into a horrible slog of 5-minute tortures.
Yeah. There's record scratches, as you're saying. There's beats. There's whistles, for some reason. Then there's laughing. And then there's Violent J, a.k.a. Joe Brew, and secret member of the band, Esham, just doing like Beavis and Butthead voices and saying, ha ha ha, Carnival of Carnage, forward and backward.
No, it's backwards, Tim. That's crazy.
This is a completely useless song, right? There's no other lyrics other than that. But there is a weird and kind of fascinating fact about this song, as described in Joe Brew's autobiography, Behind the Paint. They hired Esham to, quote-unquote, sing on this for $300. Apparently, Esham is even dumber than these two jackasses, or is at least unfamiliar with the concept of or the word carnival, because he exclusively said Carnival of Carnix throughout this whole thing, and some of it is left in. Joe Brew, in his autobiography, he says that he called him and asked him to fix it. He explained to him, that's not the word. You're saying Carnival of Carnix. And Esham was like, right, you told me to say Carnival of Carnix. And he said, no. I didn't. I don't know what a carnic is, you fucking lunatic. And he said, no. That's what you said it was called. That's what you said this album was. And he said, okay, fine. Can you come back again and then this time re-record your vocals and say carnage instead of carnix? And Esham said, nah, and hung up.
I don't think so.
So they had to record themselves over him, and I think that's part of why some of this is backward.
That's fucking great.
The shocking part of that is, Garrett, they're the responsible ones, right? The poor attention to detail is somebody else, right? They're the ones that came in and had to fix somebody else's mistake.
That's fucking fantastic. I just love the idea of having that argument. How do you know what you said? Well, because one of those isn't a word.
Yeah, exactly. He said, why would I say that? What the fuck is a carnic anyway? To which he's quoted as saying, you tell me that's what you said it was called. No?
I might love him. That's such a fucking irritating response. Oh, God. All right, so this all nonsense ends with the official introduction. Shaggy finally ends the nonsense by saying, yo, and now for your entertainment, please welcome the IC motherfucking P.
But again, he says it like Chris Rock. The IC motherfucking P.
Yeah, it's a little more ragged. Like, I think he's trying to be a carnival barker.
Well, he's failing at that.
The IC motherfucking P. But I get your point.
Yeah. Track number 3, The Juggler.
This song predates the entire use of and existence, I hope, of the term juggalo.
Right. And because this was the one in concert where they named them, right?
Yeah, they were just fucking around and either made a mistake, which I suspect they did, or purposely said juggalo for the crowd, juggalas for the band members. Either way, it's all real stupid.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, so this thing samples 2 very interesting songs, The Show Must Go On by Three Dog Night and Kiss by Prince. The Kiss I could barely hear until the end, and then that's all you can hear.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is one of the songs... First of all, this is the only... We're at track 3, and this is the first actual song. And this is one of these songs, several on this album, several on every album, that's just them rampaging around committing crimes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this song is about anything other than like a street bully.
Yes. It says, well, you know, the juggler jumped in the mix. I've been down the road and I've broke a few necks. And I'll break a few more, so what's up? Roll by me on the corner, I'ma hold my nuts up and spit a fuck you with that. But if you're a sewer skank, let me hit that. Sewer skank.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think they like their women classy.
They definitely don't. Well, they don't like their women. They don't like women.
Yeah, that does seem to be a theme.
They hate bigotry and also women and gays, and there's a whole list of things.
Yo, we hate bigots and women. Wait, what? Yo, we didn't talk about this, dog. We want women. Oh, right. We want women, but we hate them. Dude.
Yes, but don't say it.
Well, you wait till they get here. Right. We're gonna pretend to like you. Oh, man. Wait, can we just start over? Richard, can we just... let's take it to 1.
I miss hanging out with Esham.
Yeah. Can we get Esham in here? Fucking professional. Because that Karnak business.
Because Violent J ain't even one to fake it. I done seen some folded up skank bitches naked. I pass out when it gets dark and woke up naked at the Clark Park.
Hold on. 2 quick things. 1, that sounds quite a bit like, and I've totally seen naked women before. That's definitely not a lie.
Right. Skank bitches, you mean?
Right. I don't know why they're folded up. I'm clear with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. He's driving them.
Oh.
Yeah, he's really hard, yeah. I mean, the legs go back. It's a disgusting image, but it is somewhat similar to a folding chair if you think about it.
And they're covered in black and white clown paint.
God, everybody is at that point. And then I pass out when it gets dark. Some sort of like vasovagal response to darkness. He gets all fucking cattywampus and falls over.
I assume it's
He's like a parrot.
I assume it's more of like a werewolf kind of thing. Like when it gets dark, the clown takes over, and then he just wakes up the next morning and,
wakes up next to a dead half-eaten deer.
Dead half-eaten sewer skank.
A child covered in bits of cotton candy.
Gee.
Oh, okay, Tim, you're telling me clowns don't eat children?
Well, they do, yes, but these are not clowns. These are men.
Well, you were one putting up the idea of a were-clown.
The juggalo takes over, Garrett. The juggalo.
I am getting a weird sense of deja vu. Could just be that we do this to ourselves every year.
That's fair.
But I think I've said were-clown.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have. I don't know if it was in relation to an ICP album. Gotta go before I get the rap. Got a chopped off head chilling in my lap. Mr. Shrink, I'm sick. Lunatic tick tock, it don't quit. To which I have to ask, Garrett, did Metallica steal Fran tick 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 tock from these assholes?
Maybe. I mean, that's also a ripoff of To the Clock Tick Tock You Don't Stop. What is that?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to give them credit, but it's entirely possible that Metallica is only familiar with ICP. Yeah.
Right, possibly. There's also some face-eating talk later on, and it's repeated, that makes me think there's some sort of juggler or clown face-eater lore that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, they do refer to cannibalism more than once on the album, and it's unclear exactly. In fact, we'll jump right on down to it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is the juggler. He'll cut your windpipe, eat your face, and slit your motherfucking heart out. It's not really how you'd say that, but Anyway, you can see this freak show at the world-famous Carnival of Carnage. Keep juggling, motherfucker. It's definitely a Karnak now.
Yeah. And then this isn't the chorus that I love, but I do kind of like this chorus. The Tweedledee and Tweedledum, let the fucking bass go.
Oh, that's the one I thought you were talking about.
No.
I hate that I love it, but I love it.
It's kind of great. And again, this is something I don't think this is them. This is definitely not the one I love. The one I love is the good one. We'll get there.
I went on a very lengthy run the other day, and the whole time I'm just going Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
It's better than what I've been chanting all week.
What have you been chanting?
We'll get to it. Two more songs.
Super curious. It also sounds vaguely like Eric Andre he had a special, a Valentine's special with Michael Bolton.
Yes.
And he sang him a song that's just a, let your balls slap back and forth, Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
Sound vaguely like that. Makes me happy. Let's see here. Song continues. Oh, right. Fucking my friends ain't healthy, 'cause I grab you by the face and fuck you up. And it's, hold on. Oh, it continues. Sorry. And it's like that, bitch. That's the way it is. I'm allowed to fuck, ho. I'm in showbiz. Is he just grabbing his friends and fucking them?
I think so.
That's what it sounds
friends
like.
And strangers.
I see.
He's a real man,
and then,
you see.
Yikes.
I know.
Song continues. Stick your little K by my taggin'. You can fit 20 clowns in a Volkswagen, and we coming straight to your brick house. I'm a huff and puff and blow your fucking neck loose. Ugh. And then I might mug ya, 'cause there'll be no fucking with the juggler. And I want to pause here. I love the imagery of a gang hit of multiple clowns in a clown car. Do more of that. That's one of your better jokes in all of your albums. Play on the fact that you're clowns.
Yeah, that's
Lots
great.
more like people in, a bunch of clowns fit in tiny cars. That's good stuff. Talk about your floppy shoes, your red nose. I guess they don't have the red noses, but your giant pants. Like, really lean into the clowning of it all. Where's your seltzer? And it can, it can be spooky, like it's a seltzer of piss or whatever. But like,
spooky.
be a clown. Be an evil clown, not just a venereal clown.
So you're really more interested in some sort of band of Pennywises.
Pennywise does sound accurate. Let me check. It's just Pennywurst. That's correct.
All
Sorry.
Right. I mean, I'm into that. Yeah, I think that works. You could have clowns of various eras. So you have that new one, then you get the Tim Curry one.
Oh, that would be strange. Any other terrifying clowns? You could get like Puddles the clown. Although he's a little terrifying, but boy, what a set of pipes.
Yeah.
Are there other terrifying clowns offhand?
I mean, they're all.
there's the killer clowns from outer space.
There's that John Wayne Gacy fella.
That guy's a bit intimidating.
Yeah.
With or without makeup.
Yeah, especially if you're in that basement.
You want to see a trick I could do with handcuffs? I don't. No, I don't. The answer's always no, young people. Yikes. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, let the fucking bass go. It's good stuff. Let's see. Song continues. And the juggler make it last. Down with Two Dope and John Kick Jazz. And pause. Surprise! There's a third band member and his name is Johnny Kick Jazz.
Yeah, and I don't know if this guy makes it past this album specifically. Robert Bruce used to be in this band prior to them actually recording anything.
I thought that's who Johnny Kick Jazz was.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Oh, well, good for Robert Bruce. He
I think he left the band because he had the worst name.
Maybe. I mean, Robert Bruce sounds like a Scottish king. Robert the Bruce, isn't that a thing?
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't go by that. He goes by Shaggy Two Dope?
Well, no, but that's what they should. They should have 2 evil, jizz clowns or whatever they are, and then 1 Scottish nobleman.
Yeah, but instead he went with John Kick Jazz, which sounds like a not intimidating Taibo teacher at 24-Hour Fitness. I'm that nerd in the back of the class that went psycho and killed your ass. I slash and cut and hack with a kick me sign on my back.
This was prior to 1999, so it was still very cool to fantasize about killing all your classmates.
Well, it just wasn't very real back then. Who could have thought it was satire at the time? That's pretty much the end of the song, and then we get our first real, true skit. And it might be the best one, for God's sake.
Ugh.
A gentleman says, Joanna, hey, Joanna, wake up. Come on, baby, it's me. Wake up. Joanna. Hey, come on, Joanna. Fuck, man. Hey, Joanna. Come on, man. Damn. Joanna. Man, fuck this. Giant crash. Throws something possibly through the window. Get up, bitch. Fuck, I'm out of here with the June bugs and shit. So, is this guy stalking her, or is he trying to, Cyrano her?
I think stalking.
Yeah, she hears him. She's ignoring him. And rather than tossing pebbles at the window, he's hurled a brick through her window.
Right, as one does.
Track number 4, First Day Out.
She's all pretty up for nothing. I'm smelling like shit and my chin is scruffing.
I have a question. I have a very serious question.
Okay.
Let me read verse 1, and I will get to it. Well, they let the gate up, so I bail. It's been 6 months, pick me up from the county jail. With a smart mouth, I paid my dues, steel toilets, worn blankets, and rubber shoes, but I ain't nagging. Here come the fellas, I can hear the muffler dragging, ain't been in car long, and the Faygo almost gone. So he's getting out of prison, but then he says, my nuts are kinda hard, so I need a mate. And I have a physiologic question for you.
Sure.
When you, how do you put it, require intercourse, as you say, do your testicles get hard? Now,
no.
Okay, because I'm not saying mine aren't soft. I'm not saying mine are super soft. But I feel like they don't change in consistency, at least noticeably, in response to a level of horniness.
Nor should they.
Okay.
To anything, really. I will say that caught my ear as well. I wrote the note down. Well, I've never heard my nuts are hard. that can't be real.
I wanted to make sure that I wasn't the weird one.
No, it sounds like one of those things where maybe a real bags of sand situation. Like, God, I gotta get laid. Yeah, me too, man. My nuts are so hard.
Listener, write in. Is this a thing?
Are your nuts hard? HatePodMail@gmail.com. How hard are them nuts?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Scale of 1 to 10. Just write in. You don't even need to address it. Just shoot us an email with a number. Yeah, we'll do an average,
what you're talking about.
And we'll report back the average hardness of our listeners' testicles.
Now, is this just at all times, or when they're all seeking release?
I think I want to know their average hardness.
Okay.
Does it change?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because mine, I don't believe, does.
I think we should measure.
What?
Well, just kind of keep track for a week or two.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. How?
How
do you measure the firmness of a testicle?
Give them a squeeze.
That's not very objective.
All right, we'll get some sort of contraption that applies a constant force, and we'll turn it up until you start to see some sort of indentation. Is this what you want?
Now let's do the first thing. But everyone does their own, just to be really clear about that.
Well, sure. But I think we should both be there in case...
Right, so nobody lies.
Right. That's what I was going to say, too.
Anywho's will be. So he says, my nuts are kind of hard, so I need a mate. So my homeboy's cousin set me up with a blind date. This poor woman.
Yeah, and he goes on to describe a date that sounds exactly like what a date with him would actually be like.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't hold back at all. He seems to brag about being terrible. Left my wallet at home on the TV stand, have her paying, and for dinner, too, the knot in my sock, it don't fit you. So he has the money, but he's choosing to say that he doesn't, and making her pay for dinner.
Yes, he's cleverly hidden his money in his sock.
What's up, bitch? I'm ready to break. How long can one fat bitch take? Quit snacking and pay these saps, 'cause we going home to watch 2 with Paps. So after a very romantic meal that you paid for, and I called you a fat bitch repeatedly, we're going to your place to watch TV with your dad.
Yes. And I mean, this is good, right? Listen, before you make love to a lady, you should take her to her house, to her father's house at least, to make sure that you get along with her dad. You don't want it to be awkward.
Right. You want him to know that you're about to enter her.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you want to make that very clear. You don't want to be there under false pretenses.
You pick the most brilliant times to yes and. Oh, God. Song continues. So, Joe, what is it that you do for a living? Aw, come on, Pops. You see me selling rocks on Verner and Springwells. Matter of fact, I think I sold to that fat bitch in the kitchen. His date?
I think he meant his date's mother, but
okay,
I'm not 100%
I do too.
sure.
Okay. I think you're right. So, introduces himself to the family, lets him know he's a drug dealer, calls his wife a fat bitch. Song continues. Your dad's really cool, sweetheart. I mean, him letting me use his car, and he slipped me a 50. Violent J's kind of nifty. What do we think went on in that kitchen? Did he threaten him for the car? Did he give him crack cocaine?
I assume the cocaine.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. If I'd have hit it, you'd have been home free. But now you're coming home with me. Dad, I got a bitch in the bedroom. Take your ass to the bar and don't come home soon. Now the juggler's known to smack hoes, but I need the shot too, so I switch to the Mac mode. So because they didn't have sex at her house, which I'm not entirely sure why he thought they would, he's bringing her back to his, and all that fat bitch nonsense, you can forget about that. Now it's time for me to lay down some sweet, sweet Mac.
Right, and they do what I can only describe as a Boys to Men parody now.
I don't know what that could possibly look like. Also, again, he's been nothing but a nightmare the whole evening, so what is wrong with this woman?
Well, I assume she's terrible, too. She went on a date with this guy. It's a blind date, but it's of somebody that's vaguely related to him.
Oh, God, could you imagine what that was like? So tell me about him. How does he look? Well, he's mysterious. Hard to say.
You know a juggalo? So picture the original juggalo.
But just think about that for a minute. It's not, well, he's fat, he smells, he's awful. Everything that comes out of his mouth is the worst version of any sentence you could possibly imagine. Forget all that. He wears clown makeup 24 hours a day. What do you mean? You know, like clowns? Yeah. Well, he's just, got the makeup.
But black and white.
All the time. Oh, yeah. It's not weird. It's all black and white. It's very nice.
Yeah. It's understated. It's classy, like an old-timey movie,
So he never takes it off. No, he never takes it off. Honestly, you don't want to see his face. I think he looks better as the clown.
He puts it on over his beard.
God, that is amazing.
His beard through it. Why wouldn't you just shave? What's happening?
That's like, what's his face? The old school Joker on Batman 60 whatever. He would paint the makeup over his mustache.
Yeah. Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero, yeah. I'm not going to shave my mustache. Are you crazy? For a clown's show?
Yeah, and that's the precedent, right? That's why, what's-his-face, Gigantor had that mustache when he was playing Superman.
Dude, I wish he had kept it. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Gigantor is the correct name for him. He's so terrifying. Did you see him? Yeah, you did. When he's in Wolverine, or when he's playing Wolverine, Deadpool. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, from behind, I was like, did they get like a CGI Schwarzenegger? And then he turns around, I was like, oh, right. That guy's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Less working out Cavill. Now, bitch, I know you's a freak. So let me get a kiss on your cheek. And a fuck to go with that. Come on, nympho. Let me hit that. Tell you what, you let me stick it, and I got a leftover piece of chicken for you. You little sewer skank. You nasty little pipe-smoking, sack-chasing hoe. And that was that. A little smooth talk, and she was on her back. And I'm finally sticking. Dump ya, and I'm keeping my chicken. You'll never guess what. My first day out, and I caught my nut.
I hate these clowns. I'll say that much.
That's really gross. It's a bit demeaning. Also, how was that smooth talking?
Well, you have to understand, Garrett. She's awful, too.
Also, just the escalation. Does this work, ladies? hatePodMail@gmail.com. Say, girl, can I get a kiss on that cheek? I guess so. And a fuck to go with it?
Maybe.
Also,
have you ever tried it?
I can't say that I have. I'll give it a go. I feel like I'm going to get slapped.
Let me know how that works out for you.
I will let you know. I feel like I'm going to get slapped by a woman shortly. Or I could try... Nope. What? Nope. Just a woman. I could also try other seductive lines like, let me stick it.
I think as long as you're calling her a sewer whore, or, sorry, a sewer skank, she'll know what's
Come here,
up.
you little sewer skank. You nasty little pipe-smoking, sack-chasing hoe. I don't talk to a lot of women about this, but I've just never met a woman who's like, you know what, I just gotta get some balls. No women are sack-chasing.
No. The scrotal region is disgusting.
Yeah.
Ladies, write in. Are you super into wrinkly ball sex?
I mean, if you're given a choice between a penis and balls, boy, that's a real lose-lose situation.
Yeah. It's a mess down there.
Women, write in. Why are you attracted to us? hatePodMail@gmail.com. Ugh. Then we get the chorus 16 times in a row, which is just first day out, and I caught my nut, in case anybody hadn't thrown up yet. And that brings us to track number 5, Redneck Hoe.
Bitch, you got a redneck, but you look kinda straight, so I'm about to step. Heard you like fucking.
This starts off with a redneck accent skit things. They hate rednecks or the South or whatever. Like, again, I don't know how these two are looking down on anybody. But there's that. There's the intro skit, who's that broad I seen over there in the pumpkin patch yesterday picking up pumpkins over yonder yesterday. I have no idea. I seen that same girl just bending over picking blah, 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 hooting and hollering, titties. It gets grosser.
Yeah, but there's some lady in their pumpkin patch that they want to fuck.
Right. And, I mean, that's basically what the song is, Garrett. I don't know how much of these verses you want to get into. I really just want to hit this chorus.
Oh, God. This is the one?
Yes.
This is the one you love.
The one that I love.
This is, and this is a fact. Hold on. Let me check my notes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is true. This is one of the stupidest choruses I've ever heard.
Absolutely. And it's fucking funny. Bitch, you's a hoe. And hoe, you's a bitch. Everybody know that you's a funky, funky bitch. It's fucking great.
I mean, yes. Is it great? Absolutely. I can't help but picture Cat Williams
Oh, sure.
when I hear that. Bitch, you's a hoe.
Bitch, you's a hoe. And hoe, you's a bitch.
I don't know why you're
Everybody
laughing,
know that
hoe. You's a bitch.
Funky, funky bitch.
God damn it, you might have turned me on it. In any event, they are hitting on a redneck, their words, not mine, all the while making fun of her redneck, and of course this amazing chorus about her being both a bitch and a hoe.
Right. And
Tim, in your words, what's the difference? What's the difference between a hoe and a bitch?
Well, a hoe implies some sort of sexual promiscuity, whereas a bitch does not necessarily.
And are all women bitches?
No, of course not. Of course not. There are some hoes.
Well, hold on a minute. Obviously,
You can
a
be
hoe
both.
is
It's a Venn
Yes.
diagram, but there are...
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm just saying, are all women bitches and some bitches hoes? Or are some women not bitches?
No, some women aren't bitch. Of course. What are you talking about?
I'm asking you what makes a bitch. In their terms, not ours.
Oh, in their terms. Let me read.
There we go.
All women are bitches.
There we go.
Yes, I apologize.
I just wanted to make
Sorry.
sure you and I had the same understanding of this world.
Sure. Also, there's somebody that's saying fucking bigot over and over and over again in the background, and it's
I
pretty
do
stupid.
love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are there any lyrics really worth calling out? Oh, this is just a general question I have for you. Song goes, bitch, if you let me hit it, I don't care. You can play your Wayne Newton shit. I can take a little Conway Twitty when I'm sucking on a redneck titty. Is Wayne Newton country music?
I don't think so. I mean, he
I
kind
don't
of...
either.
There's kind of an like a country-ish edge to it, but I thought he was more croonery.
Yeah, I honestly only ever picture him singing Dankeschön, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, I was just
song.
curious if... Please do not start singing the German national anthem.
Bitch, you's a hoe. And hoe, you's a bitch. Everybody know that you's a funky, funky bitch.
In your defense, you are in fact a funky bitch.
Absolutely I am.
Let's see, we get another Johnny Kick Jazz verse in here, but I just don't think there's anything worth calling out. In the interest of time, let's just do it. Boy, things are about to get odd. Track number 6, Wizard of the Hood.
Fuck, I ain't saying shit
shit till you oil me up. I don't see any motherfucking oil, bro. Oil me up.
This is The Wizard of Oz, but if Joe Brew got drunk and just sort of ended up in Oz, maybe? And this is kind of a fascinating concept, right? I like the idea that a movie or a story that hinges on somebody being chosen or randomly ending up somewhere, having to rise to the occasion, you know, a Joseph Campbell type story.
Right.
Replaced by a juggalo. The hero with 1,000 faces, but all of those faces covered in black and white makeup. Right? So you have like a, you know, Star Wars, but you've got a juggalo Luke Skywalker. And if you think about it,
I like this.
Yeah, with his dad off ruling the galaxy or whatever, he doesn't have a lot of parental guidance, not a strong male role model. He could have ended up a juggalo.
It would explain why Vader turns his back on his progeny so completely.
Oh, so you're saying they're like juggalo at birth. So
yes,
okay,
they're born juggalo.
No, not born, but Anakin and Padme, right? Those are the two parents there. So they have the kids. They have to keep it, you know, all hush hush because of the Jedi Order and whatnot. When he comes to visit his kids for the first time, Natalie Portman has just painted those two goddamn kids up like juggalos, and he's like, you know what? I am out. Dark side for me, friends.
Exactly. Or he went to recruit him much younger. Like he goes over to that planet or whatever with Aunt Rue or whatever, and like goes to get him. He's like, I have a plan for you. Wait, what is that poster? Oh, well, actually, Dad, it's pretty neat. They're called the Dark Carnival, and there's 6 Joker cards. Oh, I have to go. This is super lame.
Yeah. Well, I'll come back when you've outgrown this.
Yeah. And that's why he hits him up again years later. But
Yeah.
it's the little known story of Darth Vader going to pick up Luke Skywalker early, only to decide like, oh, I'm going to wait till he gets out of that awkward phase. With
You've got to do some sort of
clowns.
Jedi mind thing to make him forget that you were ever there. But I mean, you could do this with a whole bunch of things, Garrett. You could do an Eat, Pray, Love, but with a juggalo. You could do a 7 Years in Tibet, but with a juggalo, or Bucket List, Lord of the Rings, 127 Hours, Wild Hogs, where Tim Allen is just inexplicably a juggalo, but the rest of the movie is the exact
Captain
same.
Corelli's mandolin.
Right, and nobody mentions it. It's just it just happens to be a juggalo actor.
What if John Travolta's character, Sean Archer, is a juggalo in the hit film Face Off?
Honestly,
it's a Face Off, but one's painted.
Interesting. I mean, it'd be a little bit easier. Maybe you wouldn't even have to take that face off. You just, paint that face. Paint your own face.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
I think you'd be more devastated, though, if the only face you have to put on is also a juggalo face. More compelling film.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's get into this tale of the Wizard of Oz, because I have one very simple question. Is it a Detroit-flavored Wizard of Oz?
I think so.
Because it seems like they're interacting with, like, the Detroit slums version of Oz.
Yeah. I think it's Detroit flavored, right? Because there's like Zoot Suits and Faygo and dumb bullshit in there. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. Aw shit, homeboy, you should have seen me. I was flipped at the party, drank a 5th of MD. Oh, you know what? We got to pause right there. Tim, what's your experience with Mad Dog 2020 and or 40?
You know what my experience is.
I wasn't sure if that was the fuel for that fire.
For one of them, yeah. There's a photo of me wearing a white shirt. Well, it's mostly white. There's a huge red stain down the front of it somewhere. It's unpleasant. I don't like Mad Dog 2020.
No, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's all quite gross. I would rather have boons.
Ugh. Well, that'll get
I'd
you to the
rather have
same spot.
I'd rather have water and an early bedtime now, but I'm just saying between the two.
Yeah.
Anyway, a song continues. Straight passed out on this mother's bed, 7 cans of brew going through my head. Dreaming I was sipping on Faygo in my dope house, and here comes a tornado. Huh? I can't run nowhere, 'cause the whole damn house was spinning through the air. And don't laugh just yet. Your ass landed in motherfucking Oz. Bet. So there's your setup. We're in Oz. And we're going to meet our 3 characters, as always, and visit the wizard. He says, and here comes the 3.5-foot pimp with a blue zoot suit and a Mac Daddy limp. Yo, I got a grip on my weapon, 'cause the midget motherfucker and his boys are steppin'. Oh my, look at that witch. You crushed and killed that wicked old bitch. This actually isn't that bad. And they're saying that I'm doomed because I killed some hoe that rides on a broom. Fuck this, I'm going back to where I stay, and I'm walking down the yellow brick alleyway. Now, is this just a Mad Dog-induced hallucination as he terrorizes short people throughout Detroit? Maybe.
I think so. I think what has happened, he is blacked out, and he is seeing the Wizard of Oz appear before him, and he's acting as if that's what's happening, but really it's just people that are very scared and concerned and confused and,
just generally terrified.
Yeah.
We get a quick sample from the movie. We're off to see the Wizard. Sing it high, sing it low. We're off to see the Wizard dropping motherfuckers all the way to Delray. That's going to get repeated 38 times. And then we happen upon the Scarecrow. He says, "And don't say you don't know which way to go, yo. There goes the Scarecrow. I ain't playing this bullshit no more, so I whip out the nickel-plated double four. Best tell my ass how to get back, or I'm gonna blow the straw out your fucking head. You want to see the Wizard? Fuck yeah, I do. Get me off this pole and I'll come with you. Is the Scarecrow a stripper?"
No, I think he's a literal, he's on the Scarecrow pole. Or,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like Scarecrow pole is a known term.
No,
Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe, but also I don't know what you would call it, and maybe they don't either. We got there, I think, though.
Fair enough. Better if she's a stripper.
I guess.
You know the Wiz? Yeah, I used to roll for him. Then he ganked me out of G, now I got a bullet for him. Now me and the Crow was walking on bricks, spitting and cussing and holding our dicks. Pretty cool. So, still in this Mad Dog-induced hallucination, he's wandering down the street with a compatriot probably equally fucked out of his mind. They're off to see some supposed wizard.
Sure.
Good stuff. Song continues. Ain't a fresh pair of kicks in the land. Just what you thought, there goes the Tin Man. How to get to the Wizard? What the fuck? I ain't saying shit till you oil me up. I don't see any motherfucking oil, bro. Oil me up with a 40 of Red Bull. Had to do a quick Google, Tim. Apparently, Red Bull was a malt liquor before it was a weird Smarties drink.
Is it the same company?
No.
Oh, that would be a weird transition.
It would. Song continues with a take on the classic lions and tigers and bears. Instead, it is hoods and hoodlums and thieves, oh my. And that's when we meet the lion, aka a common thief. He says, "Don't fuck with me at a time like this. I'll send out a bullet guaranteed won't miss. So I just move and the hooks are flying, then come and buck with the fucking lion. I want rings, chains, any kind of gold. Or what? Or I'm gonna let this 9 unfold. Man, fuck this. Come back to Del Rey. There you can rob motherfuckers every day. Crackheads, hoes, whatever you can name. Catch all the rich ones coming out the ball game."
Yeah, so I think again he's just sort of wandering through and he's interpreting people he comes across as Wizard of Oz characters.
Right, and it seems entirely possible because if you're blackout drunk, you've got all the confidence in the world. And if somebody tries to rob you at gunpoint and your response is, "Hey, cowardly lion, don't freak out, man. Come back to Delaware with me. Then you can rob everybody as they're leaving the ballpark. We're off to see the Wizard." Chances are you're like, you know what? You either have no money or you know something I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with you. Also, I'd be very intimidated if I put a gun in your face and somebody replied, "Hey, cowardly lion." No, not you, you asshole. I don't know why I'm doing the Ned Flanders father voice, but it feels right. Just super duper drunk and not scared of a man brandishing a 9mm. "Hey there, Nettie, be cool.
We tried nothing and we're all out of ideas."
We tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. Song continues. "So finally, we was at the castle, and with the guards, we got no hassle. They all just got the fuck out the way. I guess even in Oz, they know of Violent J. So apparently he has a reputation in the merry old land of Oz, which implies, again, he's in the real world.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Wizard's Kingdom, the Wizard of the Ghetto, as you say. Welcome to the Wizard's Kingdom. Sorry, motherfucker. This is where you'll stay. Scarecrow, you ain't shit to me, and the lion ain't shit but a snack for 3. Tin Man, don't take me for a sucker. I'll chew your ass up and spit bullets out, motherfucker." All right, so they ambush the wizard. They want to get home. One of them wants oil or whatever. And the wizard's like, "Whatever, bitch. I'm not scared of you." And so shit gets out of hand quickly. We hear several gunshots. And the song continues. We let it rain, 79 slugs to his motherfucking brain. Then I stopped back cool and calm because the Tin Man was dropping cluster bombs. Everybody know about carjacking, so me and the fellas went home macking. Jumped in his smooth-ass ride. Drop top Geo says whiz on the side. So they kill the wizard, get in his Geo Metro, and drive away. They killed a bystander, Tim.
Yeah.
They just murdered a guy.
Right. Well, I mean,
And took his Geo.
in a Mad Dog 2020 induced hallucination. So I really don't think, if anything, you should blame MD 2020.
Oh, no, I blame this guy.
Oh, that's where you and I differ.
Next thing I knew, I was back at the party, got up and I was fitting to tell everybody. But then I just let it pass because I knew they'd laugh at my drunk ass. Tim, I think he wandered off, committed several felonies, and then drove back to the party.
Yeah, but as far as everyone knows, they're all going to provide an alibi for him. That's the genius of it, because they think he's just been drunk and passed out the whole time.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. Then we end with a skit talking about the butterfly that they're gonna, their Rivers Cuomo-esque butterfly that they dedicate
Right.
each one of their albums to. Although here they seem to be making fun of it, which is weird.
It's a terrible skit.
Yeah. Track number 7, Guts on the Ceiling.
Cause my head exploded and my brain's unloaded.
I'm legitimately unclear what this song is about.
Oh, so VJ, aka Joe Bruce, said it was about a friend's dad that killed himself? That's not a lot of fun, though. So let's say this was a song about the very real dangers of spontaneous combustion, a real thing which the British Medical Journal was concerned with in both the 1800s and the 1900s, so it's a multi-century problem.
How embarrassing for them. I went with somebody who has the worst superpower ever.
Oh.
They can literally explode, forcing their entire body outward as a concussive grenade, but then somebody has to go round them back up so they can put them back together. And I spent the good part of listening to this song this week trying to come up with a good superhero name for somebody who could just explode. Would you like to hear what I came up with?
Is it Jimmy the Exploder? Are you going to say Jimmy the Exploder?
No.
Oh. Then yes.
I came up with a few here. We've got Combustible Man, Captain Kaboom, Professor Boom,
All right.
Dr. Kaboom, and my personal favorite, Splattermaster.
Done. Definitely Splattermaster.
You've crossed paths with Splattermaster! What do you do? Oh, Jesus. I mean, I'm fine, but it's disgusting.
Here's the thing. If he doesn't get all the goo back, is he the same person? Like, is he, you know what I'm saying?
No, because you're never going to get all of, listen, you explode like that. Like, that gallbladder's going to be leaking bile. That liver's not going to have everything it had in it before you exploded. Like, sure, you're going to have some stuff missing. And is he going to be, like, debilitatingly sick for it? Yes. He may even have to go on dialysis at some point. He's the worst superhero. This looks like a job for Splattermaster. As your doctor, I can say unequivocally, nothing is a job for you. Sitting quietly in a chair is a job for you.
I love this superhero.
Anyway, let's keep going. You'll notice there's no swearing in this song because this is the song, and this is true, that they wanted to be their commercial hit.
How stupid.
Oh, you'll never guess what's up. My mucking head blew up. My chin's in an old man's backyard. I gotta sneak through his yard to find the father mucker. God damn, what are we even doing? I'm so sad right now. And he's got a pit bull dog, and it's sitting on my chin like a frog on a log. Don't worry, folks, it'll get less clear in a minute. My head's all over the block, 'cause I done went Luna tick-tock, tick-tock. Come on, dog, what's wrong with my head? It blew apart, but I still ain't dead. I got no respect, I got nothing but guts hanging off my neck, but I'm still chillin', even with my blood and guts all over the ceiling. Is it a metaphor?
I don't think so. I think it's about their friend's dad who killed himself.
But apparently didn't kill himself.
No, he did.
But he said he still ain't dead.
Oh, well, tried to then.
Oh, that would be very scarring to see. That's probably worse. Boy, controversial statement. Listeners, don't write in. Is it worse to walk in on a parent or walk in on a failed
Probably gonna cut all of that.
Yeah, probably. That's not really show content, is it? Maybe we'll just heavily bleep it.
Yeah, maybe. But that's basically the song, right? It continues a little bit like that. There's a hilarious skit at the end. That's all.
There?
Yeah, kind of. I guess there's an interlude skit.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, but that's all it is this guy describing various body parts all over the city.
Yeah.
Because he's Splattermaster.
Right.
Track number 8, Is That You?
Featuring a young, not famous Kid Rock.
I drink Faygo, it's only $1.10. I'm aboard on your tips when we fuck in. 'Cause I'm
A little famous, though. Regionally famous. Because the only reason he's on here is because he was in all the Harmony House record stores. And they were like, well, if they carry him and we get him on our record, maybe they'll carry us. And it worked.
Yeah.
They did.
And he basically found out how much Esham was paid and demanded $100 more than him or something.
Yeah, basically.
But in his defense...
And I don't think they like each other.
No, they hate each other now. In his defense, though, he showed up drunk to this, and then when he heard what he had done, he actually came back and redid it like a goddamn professional.
What's a Karnak? I drink Faygo. It's only $1.10. I'ma pour it on your tits when we're fucking. Cause I'm sorry. Cause I'm with that kinky shit, ho. I can see your butt naked in your window. Shimmy up to the house I dash. Knock and I press my nuts on the glass. Let me in, ho, don't you know? I'm Violent J of the ICP, yo. Lots of fun stuff in there. Number 1, don't pour Faygo or any soda, but especially Faygo on your sexual partner during the act. I mean, listen, get as weird as you want to get, but I can say confidently, that's gross, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna do it though, go grape flavored.
What an interesting recommendation.
Rainbow or root beer will leave permanent scars.
Scars?
Yeah.
What's in Faygo?
I think it's the blood of those xenomorphs.
We'll check on that.
But I think the grape, for whatever reason, it neutralizes it.
Interesting. Do you think that Jay knows this lady whose window he has placed his nuts upon?
I do not. I think that this is somebody he has admired from afar, if you will.
Wow. Yikes. Kid Rock, is that you? Yeah, let me tell you what I want to do. Kid Rock, is that you? Yodelay, 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 hee-hoo.
Yes. Because semi-famous Kid Rock, local famous Kid Rock, guy who grew up on an apple orchard in Pony Farm, stops by to yodel and then drop an N-bomb for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know, you want to drop in the standard fella here?
Yeah,
maybe
probably
even bleep
right.
that too.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo, motherfucker, what you crying for? I'm that fella that your bitch would die for. The whore showed up at my front door, so I fucked her in the ass, then I threw her out the back door.
See, I think what's happening here is that these false clowns, they aspire to be Kid Rock, who is having sex with ladies and treating them poorly, but they are so gross that they have to settle for just kind of rubbing their genitals on windows of women they don't know. You see.
So when they say they got laid last night, what they really mean is that they flashed a family and rubbed their genitals on a glass window.
Absolutely, because they continue to do that, right?
That's true.
He seems to have a policy to sexually assault somebody every day. He says, "So excuse me, Pops, I'm napping, so could you shut the fuck up with that yapping? And your wife's all worked up for nuttin'. She act like she ain't never seen a wang or something. 'Cause it really don't matter. I'ma show my nuts to an innocent bystander every fucking day, 'cause it's about time, I say."
Wow. Yeah, you're right. And this seems to be a short story about that time he got drunk and fell asleep on someone else's couch.
Yeah.
As you do, butt naked. Hey, why's your wife freaking out? Never seen a penis before? Not a stranger's in my house.
Yeah.
God, nothing worse than a stranger's penis in your house.
Right.
Skinny dipping in the pool, you know I drown hoes. Fuck 'em doggy style and play that ass like the bongos with a bongo sound. I guess that's Kid Rock bragging about drowning women like some sort of Robert Wagner style, or yeah, that's probably too specific. Drowning women, Natalie Wood style.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing what they aspire to do.
Yikes. Hitting home runs and I never whiff. Ho, smoke my dick like it's a big spliff. This ain't a blooper, and I'm no joker, but I can shoot a nut 50 foot like a super soaker.
Ew.
But that's what the ladies want to hear. I can really shoot my load a very far distance. Would you like to make the sex?
No.
But yo, I'm not going to pull it out for a cheap joke. Instead, I'll play John Holmes in a sequel to Deep Throat. And pause there. Yeah, so like, this is not a brag to anybody, right?
It shouldn't
Nobody's
be.
excited to hear that.
Well, right. I mean, this is, again, it's the two big bags of sand thing, right? This is something that they believe that women are super into, right? I've got really...
Virgin bragging?
Really. Yes, virgin bragging.
It's sort of stolen valor. It's stolen sexual valor. You see what I'm saying here, though?
I do. We're going to need a better name for it, though.
Right. I mean, there's definitely stealing valor.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it crass, but your suggestion earlier of calling it pussy valor before we started was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's very crass.
It is crass. What about poon valor?
That's funny. Poon valor it is. God, so when he said hitting home runs and I never whiff, what he's really just talking about is rubbing his dick on a window till he comes. That's disgusting.
Right. Well, somebody either doesn't notice or does notice. Either way, this is happening.
Oh, they can't see me. Oh, they can see me. Why does it work both ways? Now, Tim, I have a legitimate question here. The following line. Taste the nut in your mouth just to school you. But ho, don't let that smooth taste fool you. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Right.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
I think what he's saying is, listen, no matter what this tastes like, it's clown semen.
No, because this is Kid Rock.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe what he's saying is, listen, this isn't clown semen. Sure, it's going to be less overtly offensive, but just keep in mind, I'm as much of a dirtbag as these guys.
Interesting. So here's what I took it to mean. Because, he's super insecure and weird. I think he's saying, don't let the smooth taste of my semen fool you. I'm not soft. I'm still hard. I'm a tough guy.
Yeah.
With tasty seed. His words.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, though.
I concur. And now we're at another skit. And I'm not going to read it.
That's fair. Track number 9, Night of the Axe.
I went psychopath chick, chopping throats with a hat chick, 'cause they trying to get me.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Finally, we're back to something I understand and can sort of appreciate. Although I will say, I listened to this song obviously 5, 7, 11 times. I think that he's legitimately offbeat through most of the song.
Quite possibly is.
That's just icing on the cake, this garbage.
Again, it's a murder rampage song. Showed up at your high school prom with an axe in my motherfucking palm, and I jumped out the first date swinging, necks and backs went flinging, and a toe, I went psychopathic. Chopping throats with a hatchet, 'cause they were trying to get me, so I took a head with me, ran down the hall butt naked. If you got a life, I'm gonna take it, 'cause I got it going on, and I broke into the female John. With a scream sound effect. And then, talking about how he's scared that women are pooping in there.
Yeah, he's scared of lady poops. So basically, this guy didn't get a date to the prom, and he's taking it out on the cool kids.
Right, but is he a child, or is he... Because he says showed up at your high school prom. So I feel like he is himself an adult clown man who is doing this at a high school prom, not a high schooler.
I agree, but I think his motivation remains the same.
Oh, sure. He certainly could have asked somebody. And we all know how his, inquiring about the potential for a date goes. Good chance that didn't go well.
Say, let me stick it. I'm sorry, what?
I'm in high school.
Ugh, yeah. No, you're not. Straight up insanity, damn, if it ain't a family, hope that they comes home soon. Oh, right, this is strange. Hope they come home soon, 'cause I'm waiting in the bedroom. So he breaks into some random family's house and he's waiting for them to come home to kill them. This is where we get another mid-song skit. We hear the door unlock and the father of the family say, Sparky? We're home, Sparky. Watch your foot, honey. Knock, and then we hear some knocking. Honey, where's Sparky? Whistles again. Mom, Dad, Lisa's in the bathroom and I've got to go really bad. Don't worry, little Joey. I'll get the bitch out. And then there's lots of screaming and chopping sounds.
Yeah. So, did he kill the dog or just let it out? Because later I think he kills a dog.
He at least throws rocks at it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in my mind, he let him out because I love Dogie.
Right.
Diced up all cinco, then I threw him in the Pinto. Now I'm on Werner, bumping the funk, with 5 dead bodies in the trunk. And I'm doing about 90 to the blue and red behind me. You can pull me over, Jack, just don't look in the back. And I gotta ask Tim, logistically, you killed all that family at the house. Leave them at the house.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you don't need to get rid of those bodies. In fact, maybe set up some sort of tableau while you're there.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like the only reason to bring those bodies is to do some weird second thing with them.
Yeah. You don't need to be doing that.
Maybe he wanted to use the carpool lane.
Yeah, but he's got them in the trunk, right? They're all chopped up. Yeah.
Not reasonable.
He comes across a Midwestern cop that sounds kind of like Randy Marsh. Hey,
what's your hurry? What's your fucking hurry, son?
Yeah. Just don't look in the trunk.
Yeah, not the best way to keep someone from looking in your trunk. We got a wild one here, and he's naked.
Just don't look in the trunk.
He's got blood on his hands and face.
Just don't look in the trunk.
Be advised, the car's registered to a Wilson family.
Just don't look in the trunk.
Oh, the trunk you say, huh? Oh, okay. What do you say we just have a little look-see here? Oh, shit. Don't let him get away!
Oh shit, Sharon! Are you familiar with the Killeen, Texas Lubies incident they referenced?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
That's my next note.
Never heard of this before.
Well, you weren't here.
I wasn't here.
I was here.
All right. Take us through
I'm
it.
gone
then.
and I ditched the ride and left the dead Wilsons inside. Jetting and I'm hopping fences, fitting to do like my man in Killeen, Texas, which is a horrible line because this is a reference to the Lubies massacre in which 23 people were killed and an additional 27 were injured when a man drove his car through the opening of the restaurant, got out of his car, and then began opening fire upon anyone who wasn't run down by his horrible car.
Right, and that was late 1991. This album is early 1992. I don't say this often. Maybe too soon.
Maybe too soon. God.
Yeah.
I miss Lubies.
I do too. We should go back to Texas sometime, eat some Lubies.
I don't think they're there anymore.
Is Lubies closed?
I mean, I guess I really can't say because I haven't seen them.
I know. But I wish I could check on the internet, but they do not have a website.
You gotta call. But how do you call if you don't have a website? I don't have a phone book. I'm not a time traveler. Let's see. Let's skip ahead. He drives a bus into a river. Don't worry about it. Then he drives his car into a restaurant where a man doing a fairly racist impression of a Mexican man is run down by the car.
Yes.
Let's see. After that, he goes full Grand Theft Auto. Coppers and choppers pursue. The boys in blue, the whole crew. Do what they never think, so I'm headed to the 18th precinct. Cause when they finally call it quits, I'll be there to cut their necks. And that's what I did. I hate the fucking pigs. I'll get a job at the donut shop just to poison a cop. Ha, kleptopathic. And I'll fuck you up in a straight jacket. Cause they finally got me, broke my legs, and shot me. But I'm still laughing cause of what happened on the night of the axe. Right.
Yeah, murders all the cops, and we're kind of done, I guess.
Yeah, he went to the last place they'd ever look. The police department.
Right. And then we get some sort of Nancy Grace outro.
Do we?
Yeah, there's like or at least on my version, there was a skit about how the ghettos of America are breeding grounds for the criminal-minded. This whole bit. Yeah, that's all.
Fantastic. And that brings us to track number 10. 6 to go, folks. Psychopathic. No, psychopathic. What's wrong with
possibly dyslexia?
Standing by the train tracks. Then you see me running butt naked with a battle axe. I'm swinging and slicing and chopping and
this feels like a very standard late 80s, early 90s rap that just happens to end in murder.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a lot bouncier because it samples Zap, which is a fun band. Also, we get the John Carpenter sample from Halloween.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's great.
There's also a man screaming in the background of this song for most of it, just randomly. It's fun. Well, I've been to the State House and then some. Paid my debts, but I'm still a street hoodlum. Dropped out of school because I couldn't find my locker. Stubble on my chin, I got hair like Chewbacca. He's poorly educated and has mental problems.
Yeah, I don't understand, though. The Stubbles and the Chewbacca seems contrary.
Yeah, it's a good question. Like maybe poor health. Like usually mental illness is accompanied by like really poor like general self-care.
Yeah, I don't know. Might see me sleeping on the street. Don't look for a job because there's no jobs looking for me. That's not how that works. Then it all went to my head. Next day, 49 motherfuckers dead. Tell the pigs I did it. Pull your spine out your back and beat you in the head with it. Cool.
Right. All the pressure packed into one nut, huh? I was waiting on a bus and my head blew up. Was he masturbating on a bus? Yeah. And the sight'll make you sick. Violent J motherfucker. Psychopathic.
Yeah,
I don't know why they have 3/4 of the time say psychopathic.
Yeah, it might be a thing where somebody just didn't say it correctly or misinterpreted what they were supposed to say and then refused to correct it. I don't know.
It's unclear, but it's also distracting.
Yeah, he also says, and keep your bitch in place or I'ma send her ass home with a foot on her face. I'm hating sluts. We get it. They hate ladies. I mean, there are female juggalos, right? Which boggles my mind because they whatever. But it seems like even with female juggalos, being a male juggalo, you're an incel, right? Like,
well, yeah.
Okay, or at least you're in the mindset of an incel.
That's a great question, because listeners write in, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Are the juggalos and juggalettes having sex with one another? It seems almost like no.
I don't know. I mean, I assume they do. I assume they mash that paint together, but...
I feel like the juggalos are flying solo, and the juggalettes are bringing their cocaine dealer / DJ boyfriends.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, they feel like the two, Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, Joe Brew and Joe Utz, they feel like without the makeup, they're sort of normal people, right? Like they're not.
Yeah. To them, this is all literally a joke.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is, if ICP existed outside of them, they would not become juggalos for this second ICP.
Right. They would not be fans of their own work. Something that is very relatable.
Right. So it's another one of those borderline like culty things where they have a bunch of followers that do believe the shit they say and take it way more seriously than the gimmick that it's definitely, at least initially, meant as. I feel like they're like beclowned Andrew Tates.
No, because Andrew Tate wants it.
Well, right, but I don't think he wants to hang out with any of the people that like him either.
Oh, well, that's for fucking sure. But that's because he thinks, God, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah.
I think he's still trapped in Romania or something.
Hopefully he's been ground into a fine paste.
Let's keep going. We're almost there. So you might see me at a festival, cussing rude and scratching my testicles, with a cold 2-liter in hand, rapping to the bitch at the french fry stand. Take her to the Patton Park, there I'll make a sexist remark, 'cause they're all eventually bitchin', so if we ain't fucking, take your ass to the kitchen. So he likes carnivals, but primarily to hit on women, and if they are not immediately down to fuck, then he prefer that they get their ass into the kitchen like some sort of weird sex mommy.
Yes. Gross, but yes.
Accurate.
There are a bunch of skits with some gunshots. It's pretty tiring. I didn't write any of them down. And then, verse 3, yeah, I've always been a psycho. Psycho 6, psycho 6, psycho. I'll throw rocks at stray dogs. And that's the point. No, man.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I can forgive 30 terrible albums. But don't even joke about throwing rocks at dogs.
Yeah, I'm not going to forgive the albums, Garrett.
Find the girl's daddy rich, and his sweet little angels, my sewer freak bitch. But I throw the turkey after the stuffin', like Billy Bill says, a bitch ain't nothing. Grab her by the arm and break it. Grab her by the life and take it.
Yeah, we hate women.
This
not us.
Sounds like a Dateline episode. Find a rich girl, make her your wife, then, I don't know, on your honeymoon, drown her in the ocean or whatever, and take all of her money.
You gotta wait much longer than the honeymoon, right?
Yeah, that's how that guy got caught. He staged a botched robbery. He shot his wife and himself, but then he drove for like 8 miles before he called the police, and they're like, what? Oh, God, I love Dateline.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you always have to have a friend who is trained in the murderous arts who can help you pull something like this off. Make it look
Hypothetically,
real.
yes, that would probably be beneficial to have.
Yeah.
Quit winking at me.
All right. I'll begin stepping upon your foot.
Hello, Mr. Thompson. So this brings us to the grossest skit. And keep in mind, Tim, this is 1992. These are, I will say that for the topics at hand, these are two women having a conversation. The woman who is learning the information is far too casual in response.
Yes.
To what's being shared for 1992. Mm-hmm. And so these two girls say, I'll see if I can differentiate between the two. Yeah. Well, then I sucked his nuts. Oh, did you? Yeah. Wow. Did you fuck him? Yeah. Well, yeah, he fucked me in the ass. Wow. What about Rodney? Fuck him. What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Beep. Hold on a second. Hello? Hey, you dumb fucking bitch. I heard you fucked on me. You fucked on me?
Yeah, it's a weird phrasing.
What the fuck you doing? When I see you, I'm gonna kick your motherfucking click. Hello? Well, who is that? Oh, wrong number. Gross. But like, she says like, we went and got milkshakes and her response is as though she had said, we went and got milkshakes instead of, he fucked me in the ass. She's like, oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
How is that? Mm-hmm. This is not 2024. We're not all just running around fucking asses. Maybe we were. I wasn't. I was 8, so I guess I wouldn't be
steel
privy.
mill.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next song, then, it's a continuation, unfortunately, of that skit. Track 11, "Blacken Your Eyes."
I think I heard a hoe, a helpless drunken hoe. Someone
Doesn't age great.
No. This is one that has been removed and re-added a couple of different times.
Yeah, multiple versions of this album exist without this song for obvious reasons, much to the dismay of Johnny Kickjazz, who's the missing clown, and is on here. Girly, girly bitch, you fucking freaky bitch, I'm knowing what you think. You think your shit don't stink. Take you out to dine and wine and dine. I'll tell you, you look fine. Then we'll fuck till I break your spine. Bitchy, bitchy hoe. We's fucking on the floor. We's fucking in the bed. Then I'll shoot you in the head. You'll never make me cry. Before that, bitch, you die. So this really sets the tone and is more revealing than I think either Bruce or Utzler intended. They are sensitive, emotional boys and will physically dominate and or murder their partner before they'll ever let them emotionally hurt them.
Yeah.
It's not okay. I do want to make that clear.
No, but it's relatable.
Well, let's get to the hook. I'm not like other guys. I'm quick to blacken your eyes.
Oh, less relatable.
Less relatable. Let's see. Then we get a take on Color Me Bad song's I Want to Sex You Up. He says, come inside, take off your coat, I'll make you feel at home. Tick-tock, you don't stop. To the beat, tick-tock, you don't stop. Then take out my billy club and go upside your dome. I really like the original song. I don't really know what the point of this is. I guess basically don't cheat on me or I will beat you to death.
Yeah, I guess. They also assault ladies randomly on the street, it seems like, and Mace will not stop them. They go on, you have a can of mace, I'll shoot you in the face. I'll grab you by the neck and rip that shit out. Don't think that I'd hit you, but I'd punch and stomp and kick you, which, interesting. You wouldn't hit a lady. What bitch? What hoe? Bitch. You told me that you loved me, and I thought that shit was true, but then you sucked on my boy's dick until his balls turned blue. Blah, blah,
These
blah.
guys do not know how genitals work.
Yes. In fact, the blue balls...
The opposite.
Yes. There we go.
Now, I will say, if my lady friend were to suck upon my boy's dick, God, that sounds odd, I'd be real upset.
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
Like, just break up with them, okay? Yeah. Don't go around S&Ds and then getting back with the other guy, because when he finds out, it's really going to make him just super fucked up.
Yeah.
I'd be so angry. Don't do that. Anyway, bitch, get in the car. Then I'll take you to the bar. But I took her to the alley and I kicked her with the bally. I don't know what the bally is. I guess probably a shoe. Stomped her in the face, her chicky face. You took my heart and bit it, so I took your lip and split it. You took my life and crushed it. I took your head and bust it. I'll take your leg and break it. I'll take your life and take it.
Right. So, you've hurt me emotionally, and now I'm going to injure you.
However, plot twist, I don't think we're at all talking about the original woman anymore, Tim. I think we've created some sort of serial woman assaulter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, now he's basically going out and looking for heartache because he enjoys it. You know how people will say that Taylor Swift looks for bad relationships so that she has song material? You know, you'll break up with her, or, you know, it just won't work out, so she's got something to write about. Same thing here, but instead of writing songs, it's about assaulting ladies, right? They're intentionally... Yeah, I'm looking for a woman who's going to cheat on me. Again, not me. This is them. So that I can, you know, be quick to blacken your eyes.
So I can kick her to death, like the killer inside me.
Oh, God. Listener, don't Google Mr. Hands. Don't Google Shaved Bears. Don't watch the movie The Killer Inside Me. It is... I don't even know if it's a good movie. It's gross.
Cinema.
Ugh.
Why do we own it?
I don't. Do we own it?
No.
Is it
Yeah,
on this?
we do.
No. All right.
It's in the vault. Let's see. The chorus is our outro, which is bitchy bitchy ho, you fucking freaky ho, 10 times in a row with a lot of mumbling underneath it. And that brings us to track number 12, Never Had It Made.
Now I'm a bass head down on my luck, roaming the streets and got hit by a Mack truck.
Opens with a man screaming, "Oh no, no." Next, yes, Mr. Gatekeeper. Now we have Joseph Bruce, also known as Violent J. "Oh yes, I've heard of that hideous fuck. Tell me, what makes you think I'd ever allow you into these pearly gates?" Wait, man, let me explain, dog. So definitely, St. Peter loves saying, "Oh yes, I've heard of that hideous fuck." Honestly, if he says that, I'm like, you know what? I got a chance of getting in here.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be A-okay with me.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. I doubt that's how
you
he
too
talks.
like to make fun of people for their appearance, so you can kind of, you know, bond with him there.
Hey, you like judging people?
Yeah, and you have nothing to worry about if if it's mostly about how you look. It's not. It's the shoes. You're fucked.
Well, yeah, I don't have bad shoes.
You don't.
I guess
You rarely wear nice
nice shoes.
especially
That's
in
true.
dangerous situations. You're
Of
running
course
across
not.
the freeway in flip-flops. What are you doing?
I just feel better, more connected.
Oh, sure. But you're...
Also, I can't say leather soles are particularly safe.
No, but they're safe in a cosmic, metaphysical sense.
Physically, no, but for your soul,
Right.
couldn't get safer. This is all quite stupid.
Anyway, this is about how hard his younger life or school was. First, I was born young and healthy. I told my mom one day I'd be wealthy. Can't forget my first day at school. Got stabbed in the head with a pencil, but it's cool. This is kind of like your situation, right? You went to some sort of
I
terrifying
saw a kid
school?
get stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kid got. Now, technically, I did not see the kid get stabbed in the face. I saw him run out of his classroom. I was on my way to the piss house.
To the what? Sorry?
Restroom?
Okay. This is what your school called the restroom?
Yeah, sorry. I was on my way.
No, now that we know what it is, feel free to call it that.
On my way to the piss house, as we all called it. And a gentleman had been stabbed upon the eye.
Now, a
with
gentleman, you mean
pencil.
a small child?
Yeah, except he was like 6 feet tall.
Oh.
But he was definitely in the 8th grade. Yeah, somebody had stabbed him in the eye with a pencil, and he came running out of the room in front of me, and then I would say ran down the stairs, but it really was more of a fall.
Yeah, well, he's probably bleeding out of that eyeball.
So much screaming, too. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Pretty wild. I took
Gross.
a hot piss.
Did you just continued on to the bathroom and went back to class?
Yeah.
Right. That's what you should do.
What the fuck was I going to do?
I don't know.
Oh, let me help you with that pencil.
Pull
in
that
your face.
pencil out of that eyeball.
That seems like the last thing to do. In fact, if anything, I should have run after him screaming, "Whatever you do, do not try to remove the pencil. I am a friend." That's my super unthreatening voice.
Yeah. Get my education, a job and a family, a good reputation. And what about grade 2? Got shot in the neck and the bullet went straight through.
Jesus.
Delightful. But I'm packing a textbook. Don't fuck with me, cause I'm going to grade 3. Thank God it's lunch in a minute. Bit into my hot dog with a razor blade in it, and it cut my tongue off. Yeah, so this guy, he's having a bad time at school.
Yeah. Seen a man with a briefcase but no head, so I'm like, fuck that. Show me a quarter and an ounce of crack, and I'm straighter than a fucking light post. I sold a lot of crack, but I bought the most. He's seeing dead people? What is he talking about?
I assume so. I think he saw like a fancy businessman who was killed, even though he was not living the life of crime. You see, so
I see what he's saying, that he's not going to be a square. You see,
right? If you're going to die either way, you may as well do the crack stuff.
Yeah, die physically. Don't let them kill your soul with that 9 to 5. You drones. Put on. I mean, to be fair, Tim, he does live a counterculture lifestyle.
Oh, sure.
He has chosen, arguably, the hardest route.
Yes.
There's no hiding it.
Yes. Unless there's something under there that's so horrible that he is hiding it.
Different makeup is the only thing that would be worse if he's a true genetic clown.
Yeah.
And we know they're not.
We do know that.
Yeah. Okay. Hold my sign, I'll work for crack with my old-ass E.T. shirt on my back. And I'm sleeping in the gutter right next to Champtown's mother. The only reason I wrote that down is I was like, who the fuck's Champtown? Apparently the dude used to rap in a big jester's hat and early on accused them of stealing his thing.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Then we get a spoken interlude. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of 47 counts of first-degree murder. Very well, Mr. Bruce. Do you have any last words before your sentence? Yeah, motherfucker. Fine. Life in prison, motherfucker.
No, he just says, yeah, your mother.
Oh, yeah, he does. He says, yeah, your mother. You're right. Sorry.
Cool.
It's the ultimate insult. So he's in prison, Tim, and I have a real question, and it's gonna get gross. First day, they broke my back. Next day, they broke my neck. Third day, they broke my leg. Fourth day, they broke my head. And all of that is accompanied by pretty gross noises of bones breaking. So it sounds like prison's kinda tough. The next verse. Swallowing. Keep on truckin'. But there'll be no fucking. That's strictly for the soft. Ain't seen a freak in a week and my nuts fell off. So I'm fittin' escape. How much shit can one klepto take? Swallowin', kept on truckin', but there'll be no fucking. Is he just saying, swallow my pride and keep on truckin'? Or is he saying, I'll only SDs, there'll be no fucking, that'd be gay. But if I'm gonna get by in here after they broke my back, neck, legs, and head, I might have to make some compromises.
Man, I don't know. We'll say that. We'll say that because it's actually less weird.
That's disturbing. Okay, let's keep moving. Do you have any last words, my son? Yes, father, I do. So what? And then some lovely electricity noises. God, you know what, man? It keeps going like this, but I just don't care, do you?
That is perfectly okay with me.
Great. Then there's a skit at the end about incest, and it's all very funny. Well, boy, yeah, pa, run and fetch your sister. I'm a little horny over here. Yes'm, get you going. Go on. I'm a gettin', pa. Gross. And that brings us to track 13, Your Rebel Flag.
Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag! Fuck your rebel flag!
Again, they hate Southerners or SEC territory people.
Yeah, this is the obligatory, vaguely anti-bigotry song that kind of does more harm than good.
Sure, and it's not really the only one on this. They kind of did it earlier, but yeah, this is the most overt one.
Yeah, they come pretty head on here.
Yeah.
They say, stop the bus, Violent J comes out, barrels to your chest and blow your lungs out. Motherfucker, a fucking hick. I kick you in the mouth, swell your fucking lips up. You swallow them teeth when I do, and me and my boys will run a train on your Thelma Lou. Then break her fucking back, goddamn bigots. Ain't all that. And I want to say, for some reason, this is a theme throughout the album. Men get beaten and killed. Women get sexually assaulted.
Sometimes beaten and killed.
And sexually assaulted.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, they hate women far more, so there's an extra penalty there.
It's very strange. And it just seems like a weird way to spread the message of tolerance.
Sure, and it gets weirder.
Welcome to the Carnival Show. You're invited, you and your bitch Flo. And the wicked clown's gonna jack, cut your legs off, and have you crawl back. Don't step to the city folk, bitch. That's why you got your titties broke. Gross. So get back on your aardvark. Don't let me see that bigot coming through Clark Park. Cut his neck with my good blade. Now, I do love that somewhere in this process, one of them said, just find me something that rhymes with Clark Park. I don't care what it is. I will make it work. Okay. How about aardvark?
It feels like a bet. Like somebody said, I bet you can't figure out a way to put aardvark in here. And then they say, yes, I can. And they still kind of lost that bet. I'm assuming they had to pay because it does not fit. They just said it in here.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's a good question. Did they back into aardvark or did they start there?
I have to assume they started there because there's other things that have to end in arc, right? Maybe not.
I don't know. They may have wanted to say Clark Park, local reference, had to rhyme it with something.
Absolutely, but there's my point is that there's many things. I guess if you're maybe what they did, they had like a rhyming dictionary, right? And aardvark is definitely the first entry in that rhyming dictionary, so maybe they just went with that.
Possibly all dictionaries. Good a guess as any. And then we get a chorus that, you know what, Tim? I'm going to say I don't hate it.
Bitch, use a hoe, and hoe use a bitch.
Goddamn. Fuck your rebel flag. Fuck your rebel flag. Fuck your rebel flag. You get the point. 6 of those. Pretty funny. 8 of those, actually. I'm sorry. And it's pretty good. It's to some drumming. Just like, hey, you know what? Just stop with the rebel flag business.
Yeah.
Then they have sort of a murder roll call. They say, Wilbur, I'm going to cut his neck. Hoss, I'm going to break his back. God, they love saying breaking backs in this. It's all backs and throats and necks.
Yeah.
Goober, I'm going to stab his face. Jed, I'm going to slit his throat. Wilbur. You get it. We did all that. Let's see. Keep going. Because you tried to burn down my cross. That sweaty racist hick named Hoss. You sleep in the barn and you fuck your horse. Brick to the head, put you back on course. You tried to burn down my cross. You just had a cross in your front yard?
Well, I assume maybe. I don't know. Maybe they had a cross in their front yard because this is a Christian band. I know we didn't include the full history, but sure. They are in fact a Christian band. So maybe they had a cross in their front yard, and the rednecks were just like, "Oh, hey, that's there for burning."
God, that'd be aggressive. Could you imagine having a neighbor that just had a fucking 10-foot cross in their front yard?
Yes, we lived in Texas for a while.
Oh, yeah. No, and I made the drive between Austin and Colorado a number of times to go skiing, etc.
It gets different, but in some ways worse as you go into Colorado Springs. I feel like it's like the mega church capital of the U.S. is like Colorado Springs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Those freak me out. Listeners, any of you former members of mega churches with horrifying stories, you don't have to give us specifics about where these churches were, but we'd love to hear the tales. hatePodMail@gmail.com. Track number 14, Ghetto Freak Show.
To a ghetto thug. First you starve me and feed me them fucking drugs.
See, now I'm kind of confused as to what their mythology is. Because is the Juggalo, the evil clown thing, is it supposed to be boogeyman related?
In this song, it sure as hell is.
Right.
I mean, they've always been psychopathic murderers.
Absolutely. But it's never really been some sort of supernatural closet creature before.
Okay, let's get into it because what you're saying is valid. They say, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're sleeping. Wicked clowns in the moonlight creeping. Slide through your window, under your bed. Crawling through your ear, I'm in your head. Bumping into bones, 'cause I need light. Tiptoeing down through your windpipe. Climbing down your spine, that was the fun part. Looky, and I see your fucking heart. Uh-oh, so I'm stabbing like I ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing. Wicked clown cut his way out your belly button. All right. So he's like a little tiny clown that climbs into your ear?
Yeah, he's like a Chucky doll or something. Maybe even smaller, like a...
Well, yeah, much smaller. He's in your ear, too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so he's maybe... I don't know, man.
Centimeter tall at biggest.
Yeah.
What's the diameter of a Q-tip? Specifically, Tim, go.
Probably about 6 millimeters. Did you want it in
8.
imperial?
No, okay. That's fine. I was just picturing it in my mind palace.
Are you thinking circumference, though, with 8? It's probably... Well,
no, I'm thinking diameter.
Okay.
Circumference is of no use to me.
No, of course not. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, what good is that? I guess if I was trying to fit it in a pipe. Even diameter is still the thing to go with. Oh, anyway. Pipe talk. All right, so this little tiny clown, maybe he can like change in size, you know? Like he shrinks down, gets inside your body, or he's got tools, right? It's like some sort of endoscope.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe this is the origin of Splattermaster. Maybe it's not actually a superhero. Maybe it's a small clown that has climbed in his ear and then has regained his normal size, splattering this Splattermaster outward.
Gross.
Yeah. I feel like there's a penis-related The Boys about it. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, there is. Forgot about that gross episode.
The kind of thing you're watching in the gym, and then you're just like, maybe I won't watch this show right now.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Song continues. I'm sick, but you don't know the whole deal. No one ever loved me, and they never will. Bitch, I take you out on a blind date, but then they find you dead under a wooden crate, wrapped in a bag, deep in the woods, 'cause my mother always said I was no good. And, well, let's go a little further. Locked me in a closet, fed me dog shit. Well, I'm out now, so motherfucker, watch it. That's Insanity's grip. The Insanity's grip will never let go. Here's your chance to glimpse a ghetto freak show. So, it's not okay, but I at least do understand that you'd be a little maladjusted if you were put into a closet and forced to eat dog shit by your mom. But, like, there are definitely truths in here that I don't recall seeing in other albums. Like, no one ever loved me, no one ever will, my mother didn't love me. The closet thing might be true, hopefully the dog shit thing isn't.
Yeah, either way.
What does that mean?
I don't
either
care.
way. I see. Let's see. The chorus is something along the lines of, I'd rather be dead, ghetto freak show.
Yeah, and it brings me back, because along the lines of their mythology, it makes it seem like they might be like literal, like feral cats. I'm a freak show coming to your house, standing on your porch, chewing on a dead mouse. I'm sorry, what?
I think that in this incarnation, before they made the subsequent 11 other Joker cards, I think that the concept is a lot more like the Dark Carnival features ICP. Like they are participants of the Dark Carnival, rather than in later ones it seems more like ICP is the messenger of the Dark Carnival.
Yes.
Yeah, they're almost participants.
Fair enough.
All right, so here's where shit gets weird. And we're definitely going to have to bleep some of it because it's 2024 and we don't say these words anymore. I think it's... okay, in their defense, I think it is supposed to be pro-gay rights but comes off insanely homophobic.
Okay.
I'm trapped. Don't want to be a rich man, not a poor man. I need my own land. All right, so I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be poor. I just need my own space. Because the rich man be stressing all the dumb stuff. They cut their fucking wrists if the grass ain't green enough. Right there in your face, you can't tag it. Just found out your son is a dick-sucking, butt-fucking homo. Man, if you're stressing, then you better talk to Mojo. Man. Insanity's grip will never let go. Here's your chance to catch a glimpse of a ghetto freak show.
Okay.
So I think what he's trying to say is, like, if that bothers you, like, you've got a problem.
I think that very well could be, but it seems, based on their word choice, it seems like they have a pretty big problem with being gay as well.
I think that was just such common parlance then.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But it
need to bleep that.
definitely seems hate-filled, at least
absolutely.
by current-day standards.
Song continues, ha 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 ha. Yes, Violent J, the ghetto freak show, is still alive. The ultimate amazing fully freak show is here on the Carnival of Carnage. Line up and see him. Lived years in the slums and he's still alive to tell about it. Yeah, I think they're like members of the Dark Carnival,
Okay.
the Carnival of Carnage.
All right.
And then we have another skit.
Yeah. And this one, so this is the time has come for blood to run in the streets paved with gold. We have lived in the zoo of the ghetto for so long, and like animals, we'd kill each other with the hate-ment for others. Not really a word.
No.
But yeah, it's basically about, this is sort of what the album is purportedly about, right? The rich keep the poor down. They make the poor kill each other, but maybe the poor should kill the rich. You know, maybe we start killing those or something. Allegedly, is what they're saying.
Whoa.
I'm saying
we're gonna bleep some of that.
No, not me. I'm just saying it's possible that guy was down with the clown.
Yeah, you have said that.
He should have dressed as a juggalo.
That would have thrown him off the scent for sure.
It would have, and also pretty horrifying.
That's true. And then they might have drawn attention to him.
Well,
God,
sure.
he's fucking gun jammed like multiple times.
Yeah, he was, he cleared that without much problem, though. Seemed very practiced.
Did not stress about it at all.
Cool.
I get nervous at four-way stops.
Yeah, but in your defense, also not stressing out about a gun jamming, because you have more practice with that than driving in countries that have normal traffic laws. I'll say that.
Suburban settings.
Right.
I neither confirm or deny any of your quote-unquote facts about me. Track 15, the last track, Taste.
Look in my brain, it's fucking insane. Rolling around naked in the acid rain. Rich bitch, fuck.
This song is about giving the suburbs a taste of the inner city violence that these poor clowns have been victims of their entire lives. It samples Word After Word by Esham and I Believe in Miracles by the Jackson Sisters, which gives it a funky 70s sound that I'm super into.
Yeah, less so into the lyrics, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, unfortunately, the lyrics remain pretty much the same. We open with yet another murder spree. They say, heard thoughts going on in the free world, broke out the asylum and killed a girl. Just to warm up, just to get it on, 'cause I'ma be cutting throats till the break of dawn. Great. Rich bitch fucker took me for a sucker. Now we're killing you instead of killing each other. Walked in your house, shot him in the mouth. Lean back the head and pour the brains out. My lyrics are strong. It's only a song. The government front me like they don't know what's going on. Fuck it. I'll take the matter in my own hands. Cut you down, cat. Cut you down, 'cause I know the rich go jogging and I'm a-waiting in the bushes. Axe to the noggin.
I'm just saying, it sounds a lot like that guy. The guy we're bleeping or something. Lying in wait.
Eat the rich, etc., etc.
Lying in wait for rich businessmen.
I do not like it that you sound to be vaguely championing this assassin.
No. I remain neutral. Wait.
No. Interesting. I'm going to say thank you for small blessings and continue. Psychedelic sick with the psycho rhymes, but you keep the killing in one place.
I'm definitely not I guess is what I should
God
say.
damn it. But I'm at your door, motherfucker, steamrolling ahead. Have a taste. God damn you. Snipe you in the head from a tower, or chase your naked ass clean out the shower. Finally catch you down the block, take this here gat, shoot you in the cock. Seems they don't even know about the inner city crime war. Money of the troops in the desert, what the fuck for? Damn, they're stupid, their minds must be failing. I'd rather pay a little extra to a gallon to save a human life or two. End this ghetto war for the homies that I once knew. That's a jump steady verse, which is why it's somewhat coherent and you understand exactly what the point is. They are criticizing foreign war being prioritized over domestic poverty. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they say just a little taste, 36 times, 39 times in a row.
Yeah. And that's it. Thank God.
Yeah.
We are done.
I'm so sweaty. How did this do?
It's certified gold, so it has sold at least 500,000 copies, but that did not happen until 2010. So a good 18 years after its release, it finally made it to gold. Quite the cult classic.
God, I hate that we've now contributed to that in some small way. Mm-hmm. What did people think of it?
Well, there are 346 total ratings on Amazon, 4.7 out of 5 stars on average, 84% 5-star, 2% 1-star. John, in 2006, said, "Welcome to the show, the traveling ghetto. No longer will the ghetto just be that slum that you keep your kids away from, that slum that you drive through pointing and gawking at. No longer will the ghetto just be a slum that you hear about on the news. If someone from this hellhole wanders into your neighborhood, he is quickly noticed and harassed and shunned back into the home that you've given him. As you watch the kids play in the park on your street, you never even think about the kids in the ghetto. If you don't care, who does? Years of breathing the souls of rotten minds that has created a bad taste of ghetto insanity. You walk their streets and are stared at as a freak show, less than human, an ogre walking the streets paved with gold. If those of the ghetto are nothing more than the carnival exhibits to the upper class, then let's give them the show they deserve to see. No more hearing of this show because you can witness it in your own front yard. A traveling mass of carnage. The same carnage witnessed daily in the ghetto can be yours to witness, feel, and suffer. No longer killing one another, but killing the ones who have ignored our cries for help, like a hurricane leaving a trail of destruction. The Carnival of Carnage.
What the fuck was that?
It's a review. 5 out of 5 stars, by the way, in case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty lost there in the middle.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. It's an angry young man who maybe we should watch around Midtown Manhattan if he ever shows up there.
Stop.
I'm just saying, Garrett. The guy was sort of juggalo-tastic.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Next one, Garrett, Juggala 2 Dope from 2004. This is a severely underrated Juggalo classic. I am a diehard Juggalo, and I have been a fan since the days of Inner City Posse. This is not my all-time favorite Joker's card, but it is my second. But what can I say? I absolutely blank love all the Joker's cards. They're all the blank, plain and simple. He's cutting out curse words.
Oh, self-censoring.
Yeah, this is the first Joker's card and probably the darkest, most wicked of them all. I am loving the violence and sexism he creates in this album. Simply awesome. He is a blank genius, hilarious and violent. Great. I always was disliked at school because people thought I was violent and perverted. Ha! Along comes ICP and makes me feel good about myself. Thanks, ICP. I love the attitude here as well. Also, the writing and lyrics are superb. All in all, this is a racist, sexist, and most importantly, violent release by ICP, which makes a wicked, fat album. Stay down with the clown for life, juggalos. Peace, Juggala 2 Dope, 5 out of 5 stars.
PHAT.
PHAT, all caps.
Dude, nobody liked me at school because they thought I was violent and perverted. Good Lord. That's not good.
Yeah. Also, it is definitely sexist and violent, but again, I think he is misinterpreting this as being pro-racist, which...
Yeah, it's definitely not that.
Yes. If there's one thing we can say, they don't seem to be racist.
No, I think they legitimately have a, live and let live attitude, which is commendable.
Christian band, so yeah.
Well, that doesn't always translate. Also, they're walking around in clown makeup. You gotta be pretty fucking non-judgmental if you're gonna be doing that shit.
Absolutely.
Everything about their fucking persona is despicable.
Yes. Yes. One more, Garrett. This is by Don called Kiss My Redneck Ass, ICP, from 2013. Insane.
From 2013.
Yeah, that's right. Insane Clown Pussies, or Posse. I mean, love to always attack people from the South in their trashy, quote-unquote, music, calling us rednecks, bigots, hillbillies, and other insults, but yet they, ICP juggalos and juggalettes, quote-unquote, claim they're all about love. Give me an effing break. ICP and their little cult of followers are nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. People from the South are so much more kinder, giving, humble, and more good-hearted than people up north ever were. Up north, all there is a bunch of cold-hearted, self-centered, stuck-up jerks. Down south, they treat you like family. Big difference. ICP likes to talk a lot of crap about the South, but I can promise you that they wouldn't run their mouths around a bunch of crazies down south armed with shotguns. ICP are cowards, just like the rest of the crappers out there. 1 out of 5 stars.
What's crappers?
I think rappers, but they're making a little pun, you see.
I see. I knew it was a pun, but I wasn't sure what it was a pun on. So he hates all rap, apparently. I don't like the yellow belly sneetches with blue stars on their bellies, and I hate the yellow belly sneetches with no stars on their bellies.
I hate the ones that are painted like clowns.
Yeah, that is true. We can all universally hate them. But just, look, I understand the concept of having pride in the idea of somewhere, like God forbid, a country. But the amorphous pride of the South or the North is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all trash.
It's all trash. Everybody has a version of garbage that lives in their general geography. Nobody's better or worse. There are good and bad in both. And the idea that you would argue over it, or worse, be proud, or make it part of your identity. Well, I'm from the South. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Or North. It's both. That's just, I used to work with a woman that was from New Jersey, and anytime she did or said something that was just completely inappropriate, she's like, I'm just from New Jersey. And you'd just be like, no, you're just kind of a cunt.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh. I got her phone. Let's see. That's what people thought of it. Tim, who's this for?
It's for juggalos who are not from the South, I guess. I don't know.
There is a line in Redneck, whatever the hell, where he's just like, cool people from the South team up with the North. So he's just like, well, we got to sell some records down South too. So let's just, not you guys get it.
Yeah, well, let's not shit on that policy, though.
Yeah, I mean, not that we would ever do anything like that.
All right.
Final thoughts. We've been all the way through it, Tim. Any revelations, any real moments of clarity for you?
No.
Dynamite. Then let's just ask the goddamn question. It's been 3 hours. Do you hate this album?
Yeah. I mean, again, I really love that one chorus. Maybe two choruses, but...
Choruses, yes.
Yeah, I hate this album. What about you, friend?
Yes.
All right.
Really don't like it. Don't like it at all. It's been bad.
Yeah.
Bad time. Mm-hmm. It might have almost ruined my Pissmas.
No.
Bit.
This makes the Pissmas. There is no Pissmas without the piss.
That's true. You gotta have the piss. That's fair. I don't know. Just usually I feel like there's more frivolity. Maybe I've just been sugarcoating it in my mind, and it's always this awful slog of nonsense. Yes. Got it. Listeners, write in. Why do you make us do this? Why do you enjoy this? I hate this. But until then, that's going to do it for us this week. HatePod on Instagram, album HatePod on Twitter, G Harvey tweets on Twitter, hatePodMail@gmail.com. Those are all the ways to get in contact with us, and by golly, we want you to. Reach out, tell us your thoughts, your dreams, your hopes, your ideas, suggestions for the show, unique stories. We'll bleep your name. We don't have to share the deets, but if you got a funny story about one of these songs, juggalos, albums, we want to know about them. But that's going to do it for us this week. I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. Let me just say once again, a very Merry Pissmas to you all.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson, and 3 of Cormac P. McCarthy's novels were inspired by the life and actions of Garrett P. Harvey. Guess which ones? It's not the ones you think.
Blood Meridian.
It's one of the ones you think.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Merry Pissmas, everyone.